If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
What up? What's happening, everybody? Welcome in to a tradition unlike any other. The yearly cast where Rico and I hop on here with our hearts shattered into a million pieces, as yours are as well. And we try to find a way to pick up each and every individual piece and put our hearts back together so we can find a way to somehow do this to ourselves again next year, like we've done every single year up until this point, and we will somehow delusionally continue to do again. Because a new season has come and gone, yet the same result has been the outcome of yet another season. It's just a matter of what the heartbreak is going to look like. It feels as though each and every Bills season in one way or another is awfully similar. The only caveat is, how is the heartbreak going to unfold? It seems as though they find ways to invent new ways to break your heart, and this outcome was no different. The Bills lose in the divisional round, ending their season at Mile High Stadium to the number 1 seed Denver Broncos, 33-30 in overtime. And it felt like the Bills had an opportunity here, maybe the best opportunity they've had with Josh Allen, to go and do something that we as Bills fans have been waiting for them to do since the existence of the franchise. That will not come to fruition yet again. And we sit here welcoming you in to the post-game show, the post-season show. And as you can see, I'm dressed in all black for what is once again a Bills season funeral. Rico, how are you, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you, folks, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This was one of those games where you're like, how do we get back into this game? I thought it was over at the beginning. But I'm like, there's always a chance because there's a lot of time left on the clock. Sure enough, the Bills go up by they go up by 1 point, have an opportunity to be in control, to potentially score and go up 8. Or if they score, go up 9 to make it a 2-score game. That was there in their grasp for them to do it. They fall short. They go up and get a field goal. They let Bo Nix come back in and get you know what kills me? I'll tell you this right now. The 2 biggest plays that the Broncos had offensively were against 2 backup players. It irks me and kills me to this day. Savage comes in off of Cam Lewis getting cramped up. Here comes Savage. They immediately go at Savage. 7 on the board. Dane Jackson comes in. I said, golly, they're going to go right to Dane Jackson. Sean Payton's not dumb. They're paying attention. You can't just get by with these guys. Dane Jackson comes in. First play. Tutty. But at the end of the day, it's not about the backup quarterbacks. You know what it is about? It's about Josh Allen and James Cook and this offense. They did not get it done. You can't give the football up 5 times. You can't. And yet they still had an opportunity. But 5 turnovers? Josh, what are we thinking at the end of the half, dangling around with that football? If it's not there, run it and get down. What are you going to do in your end trying to make a play. What are you doing with less than 10 seconds? Kneel the ball out and call it a day. Nope. 5 turnovers. That's what did us in. We won the time of possession. We won in the run game. We won in the total yards. We won with third down efficiency. What more can you ask for? Oh, that's right. Turnovers. We talked about it earlier. The only way we knew the Bills could ever lose this game is what? Turning the ball over. 1 time is fine. 5 times, you deserve to lose that game. I'm irritated with this offense. I'm irritated with Brandon Beane. I'm irritated with how this game went. I'm just sick. And now we're into the offseason. I'm not ready to go into offseason and talk about all this nonsense. I'm not. And now we got to talk about, and we got to be real about it. Is this one of those situations where you move on from both McDermott and Beane? Is it? That's one of the questions that's going to be questioned all offseason. And if you do stick with them, what changes are you going to make? When you break up with your girl and you say, you know what, nah, man, I'm going to work it out with you, you better hope that girl is making some major changes because you took her back. What you going to do in this offseason that's going to have Bills fans saying, okay, you know what, they've done enough. This is now a roster that can really compete. But if you come out and say, no, we're just going to add a couple, hot little names, you know what I'm saying, that used to be good and they fell off a little bit, but you're taking a chance on them. I'm done with that nonsense. Go out and get me someone that's supposed to help your quarterback, whether they're here or not. Or are you just done with these guys and say, you know what? Your route. I'm starting fresh. And I'm going to go to get someone that can get somebody over this hump. This ain't it. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. Because now I'm just questioning everything. You're going to question everything. So I'm going to flip it back to my man Bot. I know he's in his funeral attire. What were your thoughts after that James Cook fumble? That's where it all went south. The James Cook fumble. Your thoughts on that and and obviously we're going to get into what took place. But this is where turning point happened in this game. Talk to me, your thoughts, James Cook, that turnover, that moment.
Well, you have plenty of turnovers to choose from in terms of the one you think cost the Bills the most, but I think it's undeniable that was the major pivot in this football game. That was the major turning point in the game, where the game was never the same, because to open the game, the Buffalo Bills offense was on fire. That offensive line was decimating the D-line of the Denver Broncos on that opening drive. They march right down the field to score a touchdown, get the ball back at 7-3. And now you got an opportunity to break this game open the way you did a season ago against this same team. Josh Allen pulls off an incredible scramble for about 30 yards. You're instantly at the 30-yard line. The way Prater's been kicking the ball, one of the lone guys you walk away from this game saying, wow, I mean, what a legend. What a legend. The way he's been kicking the ball, you're guaranteed 3 points there at the minimum if you just took a knee the rest of the series. But the next handoff, James Cook gets popped, fumbles on first down, his 7th fumble of the season, and it kind of hit me out of nowhere. I wasn't aware, I guess, of the fact that he led the league in fumbles this year, and that, of course, was the most pivotal of his entire season, because the Bills not only don't score there, and the way that they were moving the football, you could argue that a touchdown was going to be put on the board there. I mean, they were humming. The momentum they had, the way that they were moving the ball. Not only do you not get 3, you don't get 7, you get nothing, and the Denver Broncos immediately take that ball and go down the field and score a touchdown. What would have been a 10-3 game at the minimum, 14-3 game, the way things were feeling, was now all of a sudden a 10-7 game where the Bills were losing. The interesting thing about that fumble, though, is it wasn't just a moment in the game that resulted in the Denver Broncos taking the lead. It was a moment in the game in which the entire complexion of the football game flipped. The Bills were never the same since. It felt like they were crawling back in a bunch of different ways since that moment. It felt like all the momentum went to Denver. There were a couple moments where they relinquished it, but they never fully relinquished it. That fumble was the biggest moment in the game, which is crazy because there are several key moments in this football game that wound up costing the Bills a trip to back-to-back AFC championships. You touched on it. The game concludes, and the last thing I thought of was the employment status of Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, and how you can walk away from that game where that Bills team had every opportunity under the sun to beat that team and didn't, and somehow find a way to pin it on management and coaching. Look, if you want them gone, then you just want them gone. But if you want them gone because of that game, make it make sense to me. Because Beane and McDermott didn't turn the ball over 5 times. They didn't turn it over in overtime. You had the ball in overtime. The one thing every Bills fan would sign up for would be an opportunity to get the ball in overtime where a field goal wins it. Not a touchdown, but a field goal. And look, I know the comments will roll in droves. Another apologist from McDermott and Beane. Was the roster great? Absolutely not. And is Brandon Beane or is Sean McDermott, Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi? No. But if your takeaway from that game is the blame is pinpointed onto those two, I can't quite understand what your mindset is or how you derive that take, because this team turned the ball over 5 times in massively crucial moments, in ways that had you leaving, in ways that were literally making you want to pull your hair out. The lone moment in this game for me on McDermott would be would be them trying to run a play before the half. I don't know who say that was, whether it was Brady, whether it was McDermott, whatever. At the end of the day, though, the ball is in Josh Allen's hands. You're a seasoned veteran. What are you doing? What are you doing? Throw the ball away. And I know it sucks to hear, but Josh Allen, our savior here in Buffalo, the MVP, if we're looking at the pie chart, the large bulk of this pie chart unfortunately falls on the shoulders of the man that we wouldn't be here without. Because Josh Allen in this game made a couple of back-breaking plays that wound up being what broke the back of the Buffalo Bills. That fumble before the half leads to 3 points. The Bills lose by 3. The fumble to kick off the second half, the Bills lose by 3. The interception in that football game. No points on that drive in a game where they were very much coming at a premium. And then in the overtime there, we can talk more about that play in itself. I cannot understand for the life of me why that play was not at least reviewed. But not beyond the turnovers. Josh Allen missed a wide open Dawson Knox before the end of the game. That would have been what looked to be a touchdown. You had you had Brandon Cooks wide open on the left side of the field in overtime that would have moved the sticks. The next throw was that pick. There's a vast majority. I mean, listen, you're looking at this game. I'm not sitting here pinning it on one guy. This is one of those unique situations, I think, where you can look across the board, and I find that a lot of people here have some blame on their hands. The one thing I struggle with here, though, is finding a way to really pinpoint this onto the defense, where I thought that they completely balled out. They allowed a true 7 points in the second half. They were given 3 points, the Denver Broncos were, because 2 snaps into the half, the Bills fumbled the football after doing so the play before the half. Outside of that, the Bills allowed 1 true touchdown. You alluded to it, Rico. It was on a backup corner, and Bo Nix threw the ball of the weekend. That was a dot. It was an absolute dime. Credit to Bo Nix, who played far better than I anticipated. And he did outplay Josh Allen because he made those plays when he needed to. He did. I mean, that throw before the half where you are thinking they're going to get a field goal, there's 22 seconds left, Rico, and it's a touchdown. The end of the game, it's 27-23. All you got to do is stop the Denver Broncos. I don't care what kind of defense you're playing. That was as perfect of a pass as you could possibly throw. So the defense, to me, I have a really tough time, like we've done in the past, pinning the blame on them, where I thought in looking at this one, the vast majority of the blame lies on the offense, who had ample opportunity. And including the 5 turnovers, Rico, which you kind of mentioned earlier, you still had a chance to win. You turn it over 5 times or 4 times up until this point. That defense gets you a 3-and-out to start the overtime. I mean, you're thinking you're in your bag. Josh Allen just got them in field position to kick a game-winning field goal. Matt Prater nails it. For starters, I mean, Matt Prater, shout out to Matt Prater. What a kick. In that moment, 50 yards. And you get a 3-and-out, and you're thinking you're cooking. And the Bills don't even get into Denver territory. The thing that sucks the most here, and it's going to be deserved, is that you're going to walk away from this game. And when we look back on it, this will be a game that many people bring up when talking about the legacy of Josh Allen. 4 turnovers in this football game, and it feels like if there was just one less, maybe this one would have been different. The 2 fumbles resulted in 2 field goals, and the Bills lose by a field goal. The James Cook fumble was obviously egregious. But, you're talking about an interception, too. Bo Nix had just thrown an interception. Rico, the Bills were down 23-10. They score a touchdown. The Bills defense immediately picks off Bo Nix. You're back in your bag. And 3 plays later, they throw a pick. They were on the outskirts of field goal range there. They were in Denver territory. And then with the game on the line in overtime, which now Allen falls to, I believe, 0-7 in overtime, which I cannot fathom, you have an opportunity to win the game. We go back to the Chiefs' 13-second game, and all we said was, man, could you imagine if the Bills' offense had the ball, this one could have been different. Bills had the ball in this one, and they weren't even able to get into enemy territory. So many different things to look at here, Rico. We'll touch on them all, but the way I see it, if you want to have McDermott and Bean fired, I get that, because I understand the perspective that Ravens fans have, Steelers fans have, where you've just had enough. But to me, this game wouldn't be the reason why I think that. To me, they had their chances. I thought McDermott's defensive scheme in this game was phenomenal, and I thought the Bills, time and time again throughout this game, had a chance to cash in, and they just couldn't.
Let me tell you something. I already lamented on where we won in all categories. We were 10 for 15 on third down efficiency. We were moving the ball. 40 minutes of time of possession. We destroyed that. We held the ball for so long. We won in every category. Nobody's going to want to touch on this. I don't want to say nobody. I'm not going to say that. But the majority of the reason that we lost this game was on 17. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody tells me. This guy had opportunity after opportunity to put these guys away. Put them away. Couldn't do it. Not only, forget about what you gave them 3 points at the end. You gifted them 3 points. You wanted to make life harder for yourself. Fine. Make life harder for yourself. Look at the results of what we lost, how we lost this game. We lost by 3. Josh, look at that score and check yourself in the mirror and be like, bro, I'm the F was that? What are you felt so close to Wyoming you had to play like that? And folks are going to be like, yo, what the hell are you talking about? They put up 30 points. I don't give a rat's ass what they did. Folks, you're up. You have an opportunity to go up. Let me scroll back, because there's a moment where we're up 24-23. Josh is cooking. 15-yard pass, 12-yard run, right? 13-yard pass, 6-yard run.
Please tell me you're bringing up the Shakir screen. Is that where you're going here?
Brother, you have this guy right there and you skip it off the floor? You skip it off the floor? You had a Dawson Knox with the ball back in overtime. You have the ball. You overthrow Dawson Knox right there to get you. Josh had moments to put this game away, and he did not seize the moment. Now, when I hear people say, hey, man, Josh is on you. If you're supposed to show us you're the guy, you got to do it. This was a legacy moment for Josh to really put this team away, and couldn't do it. Now, is Brandon Beane at fault in this? You absolutely freaking believe. You can actually believe it. I look at this game, and I look at the Mecole Hardman drop in that corner of the end zone. Then I look at that catch, not catch by Brandon Cooks. I look at the flag play that Keon Coleman dropped in the end zone. I know it was null and void, but he dropped it anyway. There were some moments that these receivers did not come through. But Josh had his opportunities, and he didn't capitalize. He did not execute. So and the real question is going to happen this offseason. Do you bring back McDermott with Josh together? Do you trust that tandem together? Have we not seen enough? Have we seen enough? Or it's not that, we just didn't have the pieces. Okay, then that means you have to look at Brandon Beane. But you can't, as an owner, tell me, man, we were so close. I want to keep the continuity together. We're going into a new season. We're going into a new stadium. I'm trying to keep everything together. We just didn't have the roster pieces. Hello. That's the reason we didn't have the roster pieces. I'm constantly reminded, all those plays I showed you, if we had a Waddle on this team that you could have had for a first-round draft pick, is he the difference maker in this? Let me give you insult to injury. I don't know if this quote is for real or not, but Elijah Moore mentioned something to the nature of, it don't matter what else they do. They don't even throw the receivers anyway. True or not true? Rough. Because your two best receivers today were Kincaid, that played, 30 snaps maybe? 30% of the game, 35% of the game, and Khalil Shakir. That's as far as it goes. I'm annoyed. I'm irritated. The theme for me is irritation. I am absolutely irritated. I'm irritated with Brandon Beane because it just reminds me of what we could have had to help your quarterback. I'm irritated with the 7th fumble by James Cook. What are you doing? We're up 10-3 or 7-3. We're marching. We just had a huge play, the play before that fumble. And you give the football up. The crowd gets back into it. Imagine the Bills go up 14-3. Are you kidding me? So maybe they just need, and this is not on Joe Brady. Joe Brady called himself a good game. Mm-hmm. This was a lack of execution. There was lack of execution. You cannot say, oh, Joe Brady and that boo. No, he called himself a good game. Lack of execution. And what bugs me the most in all of this is we're the better team. You cannot watch this game and tell me, bro, this is even game. Bro, we let these suckers back in it. 5 turnovers is absolutely unacceptable. They had no reason. This team was better than that team. Here we are. And the one knock I can have on Joe Brady, I got to say this. Bro, first down, run. First down, run. First down, run. Bro, he was killing me. He was reminding me of Nate Hackett. Predictability, run, pass. You had us in positions where we're like, man, 2nd and long. Golly, okay. 3rd and long. All right, Josh has got to be heroic again. Like, bro, you can't do that against a number 2 defense that is barreling down on Josh. This was a tough game, man. This was a tough game. The key thing for me is irritation. And Josh chose such a rough game to just have ill-advised decision-making. Ill-advised. The fumble near the end of the half. Some of the throws that he couldn't make. The skip pass to Shakir. The overthrow to a pretty much wide open Kincaid, Dawson Knox, gonna walk into an end zone. Bro, I'm sick. And you're watching these guys just march down the field, and Josh can do no wrong. Josh can do nothing. He's sitting on the sideline knowing this is it. I lost again. We lost again. Here I am. So, you know what? It's going to be a tough offseason. It's going to be a long offseason. You guys better stay tuned because I can only speak for myself, but I'm going to be insufferable on holding these guys accountable and just like you're not gonna pull the wool over my eyes and say, yo, hear this, you can have this. This is gonna be good enough for this year. And and we do this as fans. We do this. Oh man, we got Elijah Moore. He was a 2nd round draft pick on this team. And could you imagine with Josh Allen? He should be great. Right? Oh, the 3rd receiver for the Chargers. Oh, you put him with Josh Allen. It should be great. Bump that. I'm not doing that no more. I would say I'm one of the ambassadors that say I'm looking at the bright side. Oh, with Josh Allen, you can do this. Bro, you need alphas. In this game, you need alphas. You don't need a bunch of betas. Sorry. You need some alphas. And it's not enough. It's not enough. And we let this beta team come in and do this to us. And we gave the ball 5 times. And we still had it into overtime. Fam, they had no business winning this game, but you know what? When you give the ball up, you deserve to lose. This Bills team deserved to lose. If we got out of this, I would have been like, whew. But that was a nasty, nasty performance. I wouldn't have been talking about, oh, Josh came back. No, you forced yourself. You dug your hole. You had to dig yourself out of that hole. I'm not going to congratulate you. You dug your hole. Bro, man. I'm just sick, bro. And now you got these damn Broncos and Patriots or the Texans that are going to be representing the AFC. Are you kidding me? I'm sick. So here we are. Bills down. Bills 33-30. Lose to the Bo Nix-led Broncos. And let me just go back because I have to lament on this because it's just wild to me. Josh Allen today, 25 for 39, 283 yards, 7 yards a pop, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Was sacked 3 times. Had a QBR of 48.1. Bo Nix had a QBR of 64.9. This is the big one for me. The Bills had 0 sacks today. Joey Bosa, Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver, it don't matter who you call on. None of them made a difference today. None of them. Josh Allen, on the other hand, was hit 10 times. They were getting after Josh. I get it. That's one of the best defenses in the game. They get after it. We hit the quarterback 3 times. Bro, you can't win games when you're letting this guy just sit there pretty and not put pressure on him and he's just willy-nilly just throwing the rock all over the place. I'm sick, bro. I'm sick. You put in Ed Oliver. You took a chance. You took a chance to put in Ed Oliver. Bums his knee out. So he'll have time to recover. He'll be right back again for next year. Just gross, man. Just gross. So here we are. 0 pass rush, zero I guess, threat at the receiver room. Well, 33-30 loss. 33-30 loss. Here we go. Could you imagine this Bills team going up against the Texans again with no Shavers, no Gabe, with this receiver room that we just had, with that relentless pass rush, with Stingley, Lassiter, Petrie? Oh, bro, listen, I don't like it, man. This is around the same year. This is around the same time every year. And here's what kills me. The teams that have beaten us and their quarterbacks, Mahomes, Burrow, Mahomes, Knicks. Awesome. And now they're telling me Bo Nix broke his ankle. Is that true? Are you freaking kidding me?
No, that's not true. This chat right now is just ridiculous. I mean, listen, I love you guys, but the amount of stuff I'm seeing here, the rigged, the refs, like when can we just boil it down to the fact that this team just completely blew this game and had 5 turnovers? We've watched what they've done when they play clean football. They win. That's why you're bringing up the Texans game. You know, it's if they would have played like they played against Jacksonville, they have a chance. They got a chance against anybody. And early in this game, it felt like that was what they were going to be able to do, was it not? The way that they went down the field, then the second drive, you know. Look, I mean, yeah, were the calls at the end terrible? Listen, I don't care if you're a Bills fan or not. Terrible way to end that football game. You had swallowed the flags all game. You swallowed the whistle all game. At the end of the day, though, you were in overtime because of the amount of points you allowed that team to score off of your careless mistakes. Would they have 13 points off of turnovers? Well, no, the touchdown or the field goal at the end would count too. So I guess about half their points came off of these turnovers. Once again, look, I think if you're in the position like you would be a Ravens fan or a Steelers fan, if you've just had enough of this and you want to see something new, I understand that. I really do. I'm not going to argue against that. If you've had enough of this, we're nearly a decade in, and if you've had enough of the Bean McDermott regime, and you just say to me, look, I've just had enough. They've had success, but it's time. This is exactly what I think this is exactly what Baltimore said. And I think this is what Mike Tomlin himself said. He pretty much said, I'm just not good enough here. It's time for a change. If you feel that way, fine. But you look at this game, and I don't think personnel mattered because they scored 30 points and had every opportunity in the world to beat a 1 seed on the road and didn't. I mean, you scored 30 points, Rico, with 5 turnovers. What does this game look like if they just had 2 turnovers? But no, you had to have 5, which is just egregious. The fact that this game was even in overtime is unbelievable. And then once again, the McDermott situation, like I'm looking at it, and I'm saying that play before half. Can you look into this Bo Nix question, by the way? Because now I'm seeing people saying it's true.
I'm looking into it now. So you keep going. I'm looking into it.
The play before half was diabolically bad. It was one of the worst plays I have ever seen watching the sport. Wow. The Bo Nix story is true. So let me apologize. I'm sorry. I saw enough of the "it's rigged" comments to drive me insane. So I apologize. I thought someone was just messing with me. So Bo Nix just beat these Buffalo Bills with a broken ankle is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So Denver starting quarterback Bo Nix.
Wow.
Jarrett Stidham is going to be the backup, is going to be the quarterback going. Sorry, excuse me. Jarrett Stidham comes in, and his backup is going to be Sam Ellinger. So there you have it, folks. Wow. There you have it.
So you are essentially, what are you probably writing in pen, the winner of tomorrow's AFC game is on?
There you go. That's exactly what I'm saying. And let me just... We could talk about all this all you want, but let me just play this real quick because Josh Allen was at the podium, and we've seen Josh at the podium. We've seen him dejected. We've seen him just out. I think this is my first time seeing Josh Allen in this state, and as he should be. He's hard on himself. We don't need to explain to you guys anything different because he knows. This face right here tells me everything I need to know. Let's listen in.
Let my teammates down tonight.
Oh God!
This emotional for us is what is thought this time.
Just missed opportunities throughout the game. It's been a long season. I hate how it ended, and it's going to stick with me for a long time.
Oh my God!
You ended up being 5 turnovers overall. I know it just happened, but you kind of take it to it felt like you guys kind of
Yeah, can't win with 5 turnovers. I fumbled twice, threw 2 picks. When you shoot yourself in the foot like that, you don't deserve to win football games.
Josh, having said that, it had the frustration kind of the way the game ended with a couple of questionable calls.
Yeah, I mean, losing that way regardless, losing in the playoffs is not fun. So,
well, there you have it. So, Josh Allen, fresh off a loss. It's tough. Listen, this is football. Not everybody can win. Not everybody can win. And winning in the NFL, especially in the playoffs, is hard. It's hard. But you made it harder for yourself with those turnovers, and he knows it. 2 picks, 2 fumbles. You just can't. Like you just said, man, get away with 2 turnovers. All right, bet. But 5, bro, you can't win games like that. You can't win games like that.
This is where I really struggle here. That was just something else, man. I mean, I love the guy. This is why I thought we were getting messed with the Knicks thing, because I'm seeing trade Allen and it's all fixed. When will you guys realize? So once again, I want to apologize for that. And by the way, I had no reason to believe Bo Nix would you have watched that game and thought he was playing on a broken ankle, for God's sake? I mean, I can't believe this. I'm stunned by that. I love that guy. Love that guy. That is a role model athlete right there. You've heard me lament on this time and time again. Josh Allen is the perfect athlete, because not only is he a one-of-one player, but he's exceptional at the podium. You see the stuff he does with the Children's Hospital, and just the list goes on and on. The guy is everything you'd ever want in a franchise player. This is why this time of year, as much as I'm gutted over it myself as a fan, I am as gutted for it. Zoe's crying as I'm about to do as well. I'm as gutted. What I love about him is he is as gutted as the fan base is. Not always do you get the genuine sentiment that the players are as torn up about it as the fans are. Sometimes these guys look at it. Once again, it's a job. Hey, the season's over. That sucks. But man, I get to the off season now. Like, what I love about him is it matters more to him than I think it matters to anybody I've ever really seen. And this is where I struggle here, because it's so hard to sit here and criticize him when you would never be in the position that they were in without him. This is why it's almost like an oxymoron. I very much struggle with this situation. where I watched that game and I cannot walk away from it with any other take than Josh Allen played a major role in the Buffalo Bills season ending in Denver. On the other side of the coin, these Bills don't score 10 points in that game if Josh Allen isn't the quarterback. It's awfully tough, and it's a tough spot that he's in. But the reason he's so dejected right there is because of what we're talking about. For all those that are saying, this one's on Bean, this one's on McDermott, this one's on the refs, Josh Allen's emotions right there just showed you he knows who this one's on. That's why he's reacting the way that he did. He literally just said, I let my teammates down. I wouldn't say he let them down because he's the only reason they're there. I think that's a bridge too far. He didn't let his teammates down because I don't think Josh Allen could ever let his teammates down, to be honest with you, Rico. I don't think he could ever let his teammates down. But what he did today, unfortunately, was play probably his worst playoff game in his last 7 playoff games. I think that's probably the easy conclusion here, Rico. This was the worst outing he's had since that Cincinnati Bengals game. The problem is that the Bills are reliant on him having to be great. And they were this close to winning this game because of the greatness he displayed at times. The problem is when that greatness is spliced with errors, it leads to this conclusion. You now look at every game that the Bills have lost this year in this type of fashion, and in many ways, it came down to a couple of plays that Allen made or didn't make that really wound up costing them. And when the Bills are built the way that they are, it really is reliant on Josh Allen playing clean. This is why last year they had as great of a season as they did. Allen played as clean a football as anybody in the entire league, and you saw the season that they had. You look at this one, and I really do struggle here, Rico, because I'm not going to lie to anybody here, nor am I going to lie to myself. You know, Josh Allen played as much of a role in that loss as anybody, probably the largest role. But you look at it, like, it is so difficult to talk about this because, once again, you are not even in this game, much less in overtime of this game with 30 points without the guy. It is a very, very difficult spot to be in. And, sometimes, Rico, it just leaves you at a loss for words. I don't necessarily know what you can say to the guy because this is now the 6th consecutive year, at least, right? I mean, I'm starting to lose count here, and this is the problem. It doesn't just end. I go back to that Bengals loss. It was such a bad playoff game, but man, like, they just played terrible. And you walked away from it and you were pissed, but like, you chalked it up to playing terrible. The way that these guys lose, I mean, I don't even know how I fathom to do this week in and week out. Now you're looking at him and how do they get up and do it? I don't know.
Here I'm replaying, like anybody, I replay. And this is stuck in my mind because this was such a crucial moment of the game. And let me just find what I was looking at here. There it is. Crucial moment of the game. What do we see here?
Once again, by the way, and this is the other thing too, what I'm talking about here. Every one of these games has like this moment. It's never just a loss. Every one of these games, I go back to the Diggs drop and the Bass missed field goal, the 13 seconds. Now this, or last year, Dalton Kincaid dropping that bomb. Look I don't know what a catch is. And if you tell me you know what a catch is, you're lying to me. Sorry to tell you, you are lying to me if you tell me you know what a catch is. Because I don't, you don't, Rico doesn't, and guess who else doesn't? The league. The league even does not know what a catch is.
NFL players are chiming in all of those, like Charles Woodson's like, fam, what are we talking about here? He's got control here, knee down. What else are we talking about?
And what blows my mind the most on this, Rico, they didn't even stop to take a look at it.
They did not, which I was shocked. A crucial moment, you got to take a moment to really analyze frame by frame. And I'm not sitting here to say, oh, it should have been a catch, it should have been this. It was such a bang, bang play. And people are going to think I'm poo-pooing on Josh Allen again. But this guy was clearly beaten. And he had to turn back around and wait for the football.
Listen. What just to deter all of the rigged comments. On what planet
people are talking about this being rigged?
Hold on. I want to emphasize, on what planet is the NFL rigging a Bo Nix-less Denver Broncos team to go to the AFC Championship? If anything was going to be rigged, our Buffalo Bills would be moving on and we'd be sitting on here dancing to techno music, okay? The NFL would have loved nothing more than for Josh Allen to have gone the distance. That equals ratings. Have you seen the numbers since Josh Allen's taken over the quarterback position in Buffalo?
Yeah, this is really
Bills are
close.
one of the most watched teams on the planet. But this particular play, I don't understand. Gene kept saying he didn't survive the ground. How are you able to go to the ground with the ball? He rips it out, and that's considered a pick. If you're on the ground, doesn't that mean, Rico, I can just rip the ball out of the hands of somebody on the ground at any given time, and then it's my ball? The thing of it is, this play to me, whether you ruled it a pick or not, is one thing. They just went to the ball. Even McDermott took a timeout to allow them more time to look at it. They didn't even bother to review it. This felt like a play to me, Rico, where they were going to sit and break down the replay of it for like 10 minutes. They didn't even bother to do it for 10 seconds.
They moved on like it was cool. I was shocked. I was like, oh, Texans already got this ball? I thought they're going to review. They're going to really dive into this thing. No. So I can understand where people are like, man, the refs, bro, the refs. But, at the end of the day, bro, the refs didn't make him give up the ball 5 times, bro.
I hated the PI calls. And the reason I hated them, not because it's rigged. I hated it because for such a good game that was, to allow the game to end like that. If Tre'Davious White's PI was really PI, then Brandon Cooks was interfered with on that play in particular right there. If you go back and watch it, his arm is being held down by the defender. They hadn't called that all game long. They had really swallowed the whistle all game long. Really, nobody was getting flagged the entire game. The reason I'm not completely disheveled about it is because they were on the outside of the 50 anyways.
Oh my!
I mean, they were right there.
Sick.
Listen, you had the ball in overtime with the MVP. Go win the game. Go win the game. You give the ball back to Denver. You get what you deserve. Point blank. You got a 3-and-out.
There it is.
To start the overtime. You got the ball in the hands of the MVP, and you couldn't even get into scoring territory. So miss me with the PIs and the BS. If you had one thing you would have signed up for, it would have been having that opportunity. If I told you the Bills turned the ball over 5 times and we're down in this football game by 13 at one point, and the Bills had the ball in the hands of Allen in overtime, not needing a touchdown, but needing a field goal to win it, you would have signed on the dotted line. And they punted the ball. And you know what? As much as Allen had a play in that, you mentioned it earlier, Joe Brady, I thought you were in your bag tonight. But the halfback dives on every first down. Sean Payton's no dummy. He's a Hall of Fame coach. They knew it was coming. Everybody on the planet knew it was coming. Throw in a couple of wrinkles on first down.
Bro, did you realize that the Bills didn't punt once tonight? The Bills
when you turn the ball over 5 times, it's tough to get a punt in there.
Unbelievable. This is what I'm talking about. And what bugs me is you have some folks saying Denver was the better team tonight. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. Denver was the better team with 5 turnovers. You should have waxed the Bills 60-0. Yet it took overtime for you to win 33-30 on a last-second field goal. Miss me with that nonsense. I'm sick because I think this is why I'm the sickest of all this. The 2 guys that led us all year round were the 2 guys that let us down this game.
That's a great way to put it.
James Cook and Josh Allen have been the 2 reliable offensive pieces that you can count on to get the job done and count on to move the sticks and count on to make a play. The very 2 guys that we've trusted all year round took this game to not show up. Took this game to make crucial mistakes.
But that's the tough thing is they also did show up. That's the tough thing. Like Cook still had a monster game. Allen still made crazy plays. That's what's so tough about this, Rico. It's like it is literally yin and yang. They were the reason they lost. They were the reason they were even there, much less had the game in position to where it was.
Here's how I look at it. Don't be the reason your team doesn't win. Is that simple. Don't be the reason. That's how, when I was coach, that's what it was. Don't be the reason that we don't win this game. Do your part and do it well. Don't be the reason we don't win this game. What were the reasons that we didn't win this game today? The James Cook fumble and the turnovers by Josh Allen. Point final.
Beyond the turnovers, it is third down. This is when they settle for the field goal to go up 27-23.
Ugh.
I mean, Khalil Shakir, there's that bubble screen again. And guess what? It was going to go to the disc. It was going to go to the house. If you've watched me all year, I know many of you have. If you had $1 for every time I said Josh Allen throws a screen pass like he's skipping a rock off a lake, you'd have enough money to buy a house on the lake. That throw was sidearm whipped to the ground. And if that ball was just thrown to the chest, it is 3 yards to the right of him. If he just throws that ball to Shakir, he gets up, he's in the end zone. They go up by 8. And then even with Denver scoring the touchdown on the following drive, they'd also have to get 2. And Rico, if they had done that, well, Matt Prater went down with 55 seconds left and nailed a field goal. That would have been a game-winning field goal as opposed to a game-tying field goal. It wasn't just the turnovers. Dawson Knox, right before the end of regulation, he's wide open running into the end zone, missed. You have Brandon Cooks in overtime, running an out route to the left side of the field. That would have put them in field goal range, by the way. It was over the red line. Tony Romo said that was a great throw. Sorry, Mecole Hardman. Tony Romo said that was a great throw. It was on the ground. He was wide open, standing there. He had to dive forward to try and catch it. He wasn't able to. That's another one.
It wasn't a grip pass for sure, but he had 2 hands on that sucker. You got to bring that in. Dude, as wide open as he was, you just got to get that ball up. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no, both is correct.
Yeah, no,
this
you're
is why
right.
Josh is sitting here at the podium with tears in his eyes because, listen, you'll have tears in your eyes anytime that you lose a game because it hurts. But when you knew you were the reason that you could have played better and you let a whole lot of guys down, that's the most you're going to see the emotions out of Josh because he knew. It's on me. You're not going to see those type of tears in the 4 touchdown game with Gabe Davis against there's been some losses that Josh could have came in and was crying at the podium. This one hurt because he was one of the biggest reasons as to why we were in the game, but why we ultimately gave up the game. But like I said, don't be the reason you lose us this game. Missed throws, missed opportunities. He said it. We're not making stuff up for y'all to be upset about. Missed opportunities were everywhere. He said it. It's going to stick with me for a long time because he knows the missed opportunities. Skip that ball to my mans on the sideline, underthrowing your receivers, making these guys try to stretch and catch footballs, a wide open Dawson Knox on the side. Fam, those are plays that you can have in your sleep. But here we are. Bills.
What kills me the most this time of year is this is the lone time of year, whether you're the most delusional fan on the planet or you're the most pessimistic fan on the planet, or you're somewhere in the middle. This is the only time of year where this reality hits you. How can you convince yourself this team is ever going to go and get it done? How? When it ends like this every single year, where we quite literally have had this same conversation for over a half decade this time of year to a T. We'll once again pick ourselves up by the bootstraps when September rolls around and we'll be right back and bought in like we are every year. But it's in this moment where it hits you more than ever. And really, it might be the only moment in which it can accurately hit you because of what you're experiencing.
Right.
You watch these guys find different ways to lose in the most heartbreaking fashion imaginable. And it precedes when I was even born. I mean, they've been doing this for going on 40 years. It has been 40 years of some variation of what we just watched conclude about an hour ago. Whether it be the Music City Miracle, wide right, 13 seconds, overtime in Denver, a partridge in a pear tree. It is some variation of the worst heartbreak you'll ever possibly experience as a fan of a team. What hits me this time of year is that you are now what? You're going into Allen's now 9th year. What kills me the most every time these games come to their heartbreaking conclusion is it feels like you're faced with the reality that it's just never going to be in the cards. What reason have you been given to believe that they're going to be able to overcome this at some point? And I'm not just talking about them in the terms of McDermott, Bean, Allen. We're going back generations of this stuff. It's just the team. And it really makes you wonder if there's some sort of hex put out on this organization from deities that we wouldn't even know what we were looking at if they were sitting in front of us. I'm telling you, I have no idea. There's no explanation for it. What other team has experienced this type of heartbreak this routinely without getting over the hump at least one time? And I've said this so many times. I'm at the point where I don't even want to, I don't even need to win the Super Bowl. I just want to watch them go to one. Just go to one. And yet every year I am deprived of it because of the most ungodly way to lose you can imagine.
By the way, my Wyoming Proud, he says he can't stand that.
Oh my God.
I hate Josh Allen. Oh, I hate him.
Guys, how do you think anywhere like else?
I'm sick of people
leave
like
the
this.
channel then.
You know what? Hold on. Let me get my man Wyoming Proud because he wants his moment. So I'm gonna give you your moment, Wyoming Proud. He says, I can't stand Rico's Allen hate. You must have just got here then because I hate Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
Can't place blame anywhere else. Have you not been listening the last 40 minutes that we've been doing this? Do you think I just blame Josh Allen? Did you not hear me talk about James Cook? Did you not hear me talk about the lack of receivers that we had? Do you not hear me talk about some of the plays that our offensive coordinator was calling, first down on run, all that? You didn't hear that. You heard Josh Allen hate because your mouth is too full with something in it. But let me keep going. He expects Allen to be perfect, leaving this channel. Bye-bye. I don't expect Josh Allen to be perfect. I expect Josh Allen to make the plays that he should be making. If you can't see that, and you just love to cheer for Josh when things are great, but when things are not great, you still cheer for him. Bro, where's the accountability? What kind of fan doesn't have accountability for their team? And if you don't have no accountability for your team and you don't hold them to a standard, peace. Sayonara, my friend. You'll be back. I know you will because you can't get away. It's just what it is. But fans that are like this, bro, it's okay to hold players accountable. You have to. I just played the clip where he says, I missed opportunities. What more do you need to hear from him? I'll never understand it. So, Wyoming Dad, you follow me on Twitter at the same time. You can lose me on Twitter as well, bro. Peace.
And I know, I
can't take it.
He's saying it's trolling. Like, I'm telling you, it's not trolling.
No, there's people that
the
believe
amount
this.
of people I have had say the most heinous things you can imagine to me because I've said, hey, maybe if Allen didn't turn the ball over 4 times, the result of the game would have been different, would blow your mind. It would blow your mind if you think like we do, which is, hey, I just watched that game and the Bills turned it over 5 times and lost by 3. That might have had something to do with it. And of those 5 turnovers, 4 were from our unworldly quarterback.
There you go.
This is what kills me. The Bills and us, the fan base was deprived of any success for so long that when Josh Allen brought the success, what he brought with that was the inability to critically watch when he plays. It blows my mind. I just got through saying earlier that I could not be more cognizant of the fact that this team would not be in the playoffs. They would be in the boardroom right now getting their mock drafts ready to go, picking top 5 if it wasn't for the guy. On the same side of it, on the same coin, on the opposite side of it, I'm looking at it and saying, they got it. He got him here. And then in this game, he didn't do the little things. He didn't even need to be Superman today. Throwing an adequate screen pass to Khalil Shakir is not being Superman. Hitting Dawson Knox on that deep throw is not being Superman. Do you guys think Bo Nix is Superman? No, nobody does. Did you see the dime he dropped to give them the go-ahead touchdown before the 4th quarter? Being Superman doesn't mean that you don't turn the ball. Or listen, you don't have to not turn it over 5 times to be Superman. Mm-hmm. Like, putting the cape on doesn't mean that he is impervious to turning it over. You turn it over 4 times. If you walked away from this game and Allen had a bad pick, or even 2, and they're still in this moment, yeah, we'd still be putting some of the blame on him. But you had 4. And on top of that, beyond it, you missed a couple of massive throws that could have altered the game. It is okay. I love the guy as much as the next guy. I've been on record a million different times I spent 20 years of my life watching a team that didn't have a prayer in doing anything. Me and my dad popped champagne bottles when Tyler Boyd scored a touchdown against the Ravens to end the drought. I know it sounds sad. Guess why it sounds sad? Because it is. It is absolutely depressing. If you don't think I find the utmost value in 17, then you are out of your own mind. And I'm not speaking to one particular person in general, Rico. I'm talking to the masses who find this incapability of critically watching that game and saying anything other than Josh Allen played a major role in that loss. Period.
Listen, at the end of the day, there are franchise quarterbacks in the NFL for a reason. These guys are held to a higher standard. It's okay to hold people to a higher standard. Why? Because they're not the same as the others. We hold them to a higher standard because they do very unique things in unique moments in special times. Josh Allen has done it countless times. We've seen it. That's why we love him so much. But when they don't hold up to the standard, we're just supposed to say, well, he does it all the time, so it's okay for him not to do it this time. No. This is when we need it the most to get to the ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl. But yet we fail every time. Has it always been on him? No. It happened to be today. So it's okay to call it out for what it is. Heck, he did it himself.
That's what kills me the most about it. He's telling you himself.
He did it himself, and y'all don't want to accept it. So I don't know what else to tell y'all that are sitting here. Don't get mad at Josh. He did everything he could. Not enough. Not enough. And right now, the Bills are going home. Whether they choose to go to Cancun, Jamaica, wherever. They might just stay in Buffalo. But they're going home. And we had opportunities, and we let them slip. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is head coach Sean McDermott, a clip of tonight's presser.
And it's hard for me to, and I've had a chance to look at, it's hard for me to understand why it was ruled the way it was ruled.
And right now he's referring to the Brandon Cooks catch or not catch that they ruled incomplete or / interception.
If it is ruled that way, then why wasn't it slowed down? Just to make sure that we have this right. That would have made a lot of sense to me, to make sure that we have this thing right, because that's a pivotal play in the game. We have the ball at the 20, maybe kicking a game-winning field goal right there. So I'll just leave it at that. Right. But I'm saying it because I'm standing up for Buffalo, damn it. I'm standing up for us.
John,
what went on is not how it should go down, in my estimation. That play, these guys spent 3 hours out there playing football, pouring their guts out, to not even say, hey, let's just slow this thing down. That's why I'm bothered.
You're right. Catch down by contact?
In my eyes, it was. Yes, in my eyes, it was. But even
so
it's hard for
I haven't had a chance to see the whole thing.
And I've had a chance.
However,
it's hard for me to
that's where we stand right now.
It was ruled.
Couldn't agree with him more. Good on him.
What are your thoughts on that?
If it is ruled that way,
couldn't agree with him more. I could not agree with him more. It's exactly what I said. I said the exact same thing. Go ahead and pause that. Yeah, there you go. Yep. I said the exact same thing. Whether you ruled it one way or another was another thing. Zero explanation. The amount of time these refs spend looking over if a first down was made or not, the line of gain was made or not, to not go and look at one of the most crucial plays of a divisional round game in overtime was malpractice. It was disgusting. It was a blemish on this game. It was horrible. At the bare minimum, if you're going to rule it what you did, go and watch it. Gene Steratore, by the way, I mean, these guys just say whatever. The amount of times this year I've watched the rules expert come on and say one thing and then the ref winds up ruling another thing is preposterous. It happens weekly. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what an adequate first down is. Nobody knows what a catch is. Nobody knows anything. Multi-billion-dollar league with the most rabid, passionate fans you could possibly imagine, and it comes down to this BS with no explanation. Absolutely none. The guy grabs it, hits the ground, and rolls over. The defender comes away with it. I'd have to go back and look, but the amount of times I feel like I've seen that same play go down and they rule the tie goes to the offense or whatever, I know I've seen it before. At the end of the day, though, he's nailing it. The amount of times you all watch the league, around the league, not just the Bills, how many games every week is there a call where they sit and comb through like the damn Zapruder film for 10 minutes over something that was not nearly as impactful as this play? All the damn time. And Gene Steratore, well, he didn't survive the ground. What does that mean? What do you mean he didn't survive the ground? He caught it. He hit the ground. We roll over. The Denver Bronco defender has it. I just, once again, we can never just lose. You got to lose with the addition of that BS always being in the cards. Some BS. Coulda, shoulda, woulda moment where the Bills get, just hosed again. And I'm not saying, once again, let me reiterate. The fact that it even had to come down to that is a problem. But McDermott could not be more spot on there. You don't even look at it. They had the Broncos lined up before you could even realize what just happened.
McDermott saying, listen, it's not like we're watching the New York Jets playing the freaking Tennessee Titans. You're watching divisional round football in the fourth quarter. Was it overtime or fourth quarter? Doesn't matter. You're in overtime. That play is crucial for the Bills to be in field goal position to win this game. That was a winning type throw. And this is why I get on people, because we can still give Josh his flowers, because that was a winning throw and catch for these guys to seal that game. Refs called it otherwise. Good heads up play by the defender to just keep it going. But folks are saying that should have been down, that should have been a catch, this, that, and the third. But beyond that, or before that, this game should have been over before. And I think this is what irks me the most. There were moments that we could have put these guys aside. Josh missing that throw to Dawson Knox is still replaying in my mind, because that's a pitch and catch right there. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. We're now in the position where the Bills are now having to now regroup, because this offseason is going to be a huge offseason. Like, the Pagulas have a decision to make. If y'all return with the same old BS, you're going to have the same old nonsense coming down. And I get it now. We're not getting it now. I've been getting it. But you always have to roll out a little bit of grace. I don't know. This one, with all the changes that are happening around the league, and you see these GMs making cuts. I mean, the Miami Dolphins made a late cut and said, no, we ain't doing this. So McDermott, whether he has to go, whether it's GM Brandon Beane that has to go, bringing those two guys back, it's tough, man. It's tough. It is absolutely tough. How can you justify it? You got to justify it. And the question is, how can you justify it? Yeah, but we were just missing receivers. Fine, I'll go get receivers. Fine, we should let you go because that was your job the very first time. You couldn't get it done. You even had a chance to earn everybody's trust back in you at trade deadline. You said, nah, we good. Well, I said it, I think last week. Ultimately, what is going to let us down, if we're not turning the football over, it's going to be the receiver room. And that's what let us down, essentially. Those turnovers and the receiver room not giving enough for Josh.
You're telling me this wasn't worth another look? This is what you would have gone through. You would have gone frame by frame. Cooks has the ball. I see a knee down and a shin about to be down. I don't even know who the Denver defender is. I could care less. He's standing up currently right now. He's on the ground. Cooks is on the ground. He didn't have control. He didn't have control. That's what I mean. He didn't have the control. What? I mean, you can't get any better than that. So now what? I already know where these Bills have to focus on. That's a certainty. I'll be honest with you guys. I felt good about this game, and I felt these Bills were going to
use the size and push these guys around and run over them. And essentially we did do that. The Bills were able to run that football very well today, right? Rushing yards today, we had 183 yards rushing to their 70. We did everything we need to do. This is what kills me. Let me tell you something what kills me and why I believe the Bills really squandered this, because they were the better team. Not only did the Bills win the time of possession for 40 minutes to the Broncos 29, we were 3 for 5 in the red zone to the Broncos 1 out of 4 in the red zone. We outran them 183 to 70. We out total yard them 449 to 349. We had more plays than they did. We went 10 for 15 on third down efficiency. We had 28 first downs, a balanced attack, 14 first downs passing, 13 first downs rushing. We were the better team, but those freaking turnovers is what did the Bills in. That's it. Can't turn the ball in this game. You can't turn the ball over. It's tough, man. This one's a tough one to swallow, for real. I'm not even gonna lie. This one's a tough one. And knowing that we were the better team. Getting beat down is one thing, but knowing that you're the better team and still lose, boy, that hurts. Boy, that hurts. Oh, man. Long year, tough year. That's where we're at.
I don't have the argument for you after this game to fire McDermott. I think there's ample ammo, though, by the way, if you wanted to move off of Bean. Now, I think that there's ample ammo there. I've been over this time and time again, and now with a non-conference championship appearance, which would be technically a regression from last year, I do think, to me, the age-old argument with firing McDermott, it goes back to 13 seconds. We're clawing back to like 4 years ago wanting to fire this guy. Did you see what he did with the defense towards the end of the year here, including in this game? Like, the defense, you were the amount of guys they lost this year. You were down to Dane Jackson at one point. You were down to Savage at one point. Like, what's McDermott supposed to do when you got to trot those two guys in there off the sideline? And Sean Payton, you got to give him and Bo Nix credit. They targeted it immediately and scored on it. Like, I just don't know. If you eliminate the turnovers, the Bills defense outside of the pass rush today, I thought really had a solid outing. Far solid enough to win the game. The defense did enough to win the game. Even on the drive in which the Broncos took the lead at the end of the fourth quarter, I thought it was well defended. It's a perfect pass. Like, sometimes it's just better execution than you, but there's really not much more you can do about it. I don't have this laundry list of ammo that I could list off to you right now to get rid of McDermott, but I think that Brandon Beane had a horrendous year. And I've been on record saying that I think that the way that he went about the year that he had was not a good look. And now that you couple that in with this exit, I understand everybody wants somebody to pay here. And I think we might be at the point now, almost a decade in, where it could be justified. Listen, I'm not denying anybody who wants a move to be made here. I understand you. I am not like in this denial of the idea behind wanting to make a drastic change. I will say, though, I do not see where the massive argument to get rid of McDermott stems from. But what I do see this year is several bullet points you could list off as to why you think it might be best to move in a different direction from Brandon Beane. And it sucks to say, but I do think that he had a really bad year here. And I think the results of that year wound up kind of, once again, they should have won still with those results. But you never know what it was. To your point earlier, you never know how much different it would have been if a couple of additional moves that felt like they could have been made were made. And even if no moves were made, the way you went about it, basically talking down to everybody that this idea that the wide receiver room needed improvement was some insane, unearthly fan fiction. I get it. People want to make a move. I got to tell you, if I wake up tomorrow and it was McDermott that winds up paying the price here, I'm going to be pissed about it. I don't care what anybody says. McDermott, truth, or this and that, fine, whatever. If that's what you want to label me, fine. That game to me did nothing to move the needle on wanting to get rid of McDermott. The body of work that Brandon Beane displayed this past year, I totally understand the argument.
I'm with
Totally
you.
get it.
I'm keeping McDermott, and I'm moving on from Beane. You need a fresh set of other eyes that understand what's at stake here. That understand. Like, I think what Beane didn't do at the trade deadline for me is what takes it over the edge for me. 100%. You have the opportunity and you didn't. Let's just say they keep him. All eyes are going to be on that first round draft pick and what you do with it and what that turns out to be. If you go out and say, man, we need that pass rush, I'm going to go get that lineman. Bro, we're picking at 25, 26, 27. Cut it out, Beane. Cut it out. So if they announce on Monday the Bills or Brandon Beane has stepped down from his position or whatever the hell he decides to do, bro, get him out of here, man. Because here's the way I look at it. And you lamented on it, and I'm gonna double down on that too. Let's not forget, McDermott's specialty is on the defense. The defense did what they needed to do. Not only did the defense do what they didn't do the last game against the team that they weren't supposed to beat, the Jaguars, they did it again against the Broncos. It's the offensive side that gave the football up, that kept on giving it up. So for me, if you want to keep continuity, you want to keep a guy that the team respects and the team still F's with, cool. But that Brandon Beane situation, just look at the amount of moves that he made all offseason. Let's say they did not release Brandon Cook. Bro, what the heck were we going to line up at receiver? Golly, man. Yo, Brandon Beane has really soured me. I could care less if they move on from that, brother. By the way, Walter comes in and says two things can be true. I think you can look at McDermott's body of work and his tenure and make the argument of moving off of him. True. But based off just the season, I don't see how you can arrive there. Agreed. That when you look at the totality of the big picture, bro, can't get it done with his head coach. And would it surprise me if they moved on from both of them? No, because I would understand it. But bringing them both back, that will create a lot of conversation and whether these guys really are trying to win. Are you really trying to win? What did you show me last year, Brandon Beane, that shows me you're really trying to win? We're doing a performance management, okay? We're going to do that. We are going to lead the performance, manage it, and we're going to take a look at what you've done this year. Show me what you've done. All right, I did this, I didn't do. Bro, McDermott can at least say, yo, with the amount of injuries and shuffles that I had to do, man, I had to try to keep these guys rallied and ready to go. We made it to the divisional round. What did you do, sir? I can tell you what I didn't do. Oh, absolutely. I know what you didn't do. And it's tough, man. And I don't want to sit here and blame this and blame that because we lost and stuff. But like when you look at the big picture of this, you have to look at those things because it's been the same results in the playoffs these last 7 years. Are we going to win one or not? I really thought we were going to pull this one. When the Bills came up and went 24-23, I said, maybe it is destiny. These guys are supposed to win this one. With all these turnovers, man, they're probably going to get this. But as the game went on, you're like, oh my gosh, man, you can't do that. You can't. And here we are. So Bills, they've got a lot of things they're going to have to go through. They got a lot of decisions you got to make. I'll tell you this. Josh, that guy played a damn good game, but it just wasn't enough. And I'm gonna tell you this: Deion Dawkins has his back will forever have his back. I think they went to Deion and said, "Hey, Josh said that he feels like he let the team down." And according to, I'm gonna try to find the footage here. There was a very emotional Deion that whispered, and it looked like he was holding back tears. Here's a Brandon Cooks with some context here on his play on that potential catch. Let's play it out so you can hear it out.
So he let you guys down. What would your message be to him?
No. I mean, at the end of the day, he's been carrying us all year. And, the way I think about it is, somebody step up to be able to alleviate some of that from him. And when you're great and you feel like you have to do so much, you have the opportunity to be able to force some of those things. And that's what I think about Josh. He's the greatest quarterback in this league. everybody else around him got to come up, be able to make plays. So he doesn't always have to be the one to feel like, man, I got to win this game.
Felt like so heavy on him. I mean, emotional just coming out to the podium.
Yeah.
What was it like seeing him like that?
I think we all feel that way, you work so hard. Personally, just so thankful to be a part of this. I look back and like, man, what can I have done to be able to alleviate some of that pressure from him? You just love this game so much. And when you come up short like this, it's going to sting for a long time, There's no, next week. Just love it,
Bro, I'm going to tell you something. Brandon Cooks has only been a part of this team for a month, if not a little bit more than a month.
Good point.
And he feels it like that. He feels like that, and he's been saying what we've been saying all year. Bro, if Josh wouldn't have to do the things that he's done and the extra over-the-board things that he's done, if he just didn't have enough people on the roster to help out, paraphrasing, it just leans back to Brandon Beane. And I don't want to make this about Brandon Beane, but it leans back to that. You got a newcomer telling you that, and your newcomer he's hurt, as they all are. That's a big, tough loss. That's a tough loss. And he's telling you, Josh wouldn't have to do that. It's not on him. Josh wouldn't have to do all that if we didn't step up. And it's unfortunate. And it really is. Losing sucks. Losing sucks. But I'll tell you, I love seeing this because it's no secret. Anybody that comes to the Bills and they see what Josh does and they see this dynamic these guys have, they want to play for this team. But fam, at the end of the day, we need results. We need results. We need results. And we came short today. But I respect Cook coming in and that little short time. He was our best receiver. Let's be frank. He was our best receiver, him and Khalil Shakir. But he gave us something that we could look forward to down the field. There was nothing like that all year long. It took until after the trade deadline, until somebody had to cut this brother, and then we had him. Isn't that sad? Golly, man.
Well, what isn't sad about the whole thing? I mean, the whole thing, each and every year, it's just sad. When I watch these guys, it makes me sad. I'm already sad. They're sad. It's an endless cycle of sad. It's an endless cycle of sad. And that in itself, Rico, is just sad.
Yeah.
I mean, what other conclusion can you draw? Being a Bill, this is just sad. Every year. And once again, I go back to it where it's just, I don't know how it'll ever change.
And it's tough. And then when you see, respected guys like Trey having it and losing it.
I didn't even blame him for this.
I didn't blame him one bit. F that. Like, how you going to sit there with your hands in your pocket? Yeah, now you want to do something. All right. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough loss, man. It's a tough one. I think this one, I know a lot of these losses hurt the Bills and these players, but this one I think is really hitting these boys different. Really hitting these boys different.
Because it didn't come at the hands of the modern day dynasty or the 2-time MVP or whatever. It came at the hands of your own doing, really. You had 5 turnovers.
Maybe that's why.
The quarterback had a broken ankle at the end. And like I mentioned earlier, it's never just a loss. You'll have the play, Brandon Cooks non-catch. It's like, back in the day, back in the 90s with the Sabres, was he in the crease, right? Wide right, 13 seconds. Like, it's not just losses, Rico. It's full-on torment. When you love these teams and the sport the way that we do, it's not just a loss. You can swallow a loss. That's why I mentioned earlier, like, you go back to the Bengals game. You just didn't show up. You got defeated. Like, really, there was nothing about that game that I can pinpoint and say, this way, this one, that way. You got beat. Not only do you lose all these games, but there's always at least one moment that will be analyzed and debated and remembered for the end of time. And in this game, you got about 6 of them. You got about 6 of those moments. how do we do this? How do we continue? I don't know how we do this. It's the most resilient fan base I've ever seen in my life. I question how I'm even able. I don't know how I continue to do this. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're sitting here asking questions, and we got Josh Allen's very good friend and teammate Deion Dawkins has been the only left tackle to ever play with Josh, and he's close. We've talked to Deion multiple times, and we know how much he loves Josh. Josh is his bro, and here's Deion on them telling him about Josh Allen and how Josh Allen uttered the words that he felt that he let his team down.
Simply, I hate to keep it short, but we love you. You know, we're thankful for him.
He said he feels like he let you guys down. How do you react when your quarterback who's done so much for you says that to you guys?
He let us down.
Oh, I can't take this shit, dude. I just can't even do this anymore.
It's tough.
Thanks, Tim.
You know, you work so hard.
That's tough. That's tough.
And that's why we said it right in the moment. Like, you could never in a million years. They could have 8 more losing seasons. I don't think you could ever look at Allen and say the guy let him down. He let nobody down. He let nobody down. He just he played a role in losing the game.
Yep.
To say that he let down Buffalo, that is a Brooklyn Bridge too far. Like, and I get why he feels that way. He's going to put the most blame on himself more than anybody.
He's the leader.
I think there's a difference, Rico, between having a bad game and playing a part in the loss and saying, I let my team down. And I'm glad that they all responded like this. This is killing me, though. You mentioned it earlier. We've seen them disheveled after losses. This is on a whole other level. You got the whole locker room crying, dude.
This is different. This is very different. And I think sometimes when you see guys pour out like that, it's because obviously this one hurts more, and they really wanted it. And not that they never really wanted it before. They really wanted this one, but there's a chance that there's a lot of guys that aren't returning. There's going to be a different team next year. There's a lot of guys not returning. So if this is surreal to them, this was supposed to be, we're going to do it. And when you see that, bro, we're 2 games away from making this thing happen, bro. We got this. The Denver Broncos, and you watch how the game unfolds, you're going to feel it. You're absolutely going to feel it. I mean, just watching the guy sit in the back of that locker room, silent. It's tough. I mean, Joey Bosa, newly acquired Joey Bosa this year. This is him walking from the field to the locker room. We're going to feel this. And tough part is the guy that we wanted to see a lot from, that was supposed to be the difference maker, the closer, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs, not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. I mean, you can slam all the helmets all you want, but this is what Brandon Cooks was talking about. He feels like he's got to do everything on his own. It's not like Bo Nix was getting rid of the football so quickly. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's tough, man. I don't want to sit here and try to make that. Listen, man, it's a tough loss for these Bills. When your leader is the one pouring out, and they tell the teammates that your leader, by the way, was in tears saying that it was his fault that you guys lost the game. Bro, you're going to feel that. That's going to hit you in the old ticker and be like, nah, bro, we let him down. But at the end of the day, results is what we need. Results is what Bills fans have been wanting for God knows how long.
The existence of the franchise.
This is what I'm talking about, man. So, like, feelings aside, bro, we fell short yet again. And I think this is what's making people sick, is the amount of times that we continue to fall short every time.
Yeah, like, seriously, I'd rather be losing the way that the Niners are getting their ass kicked right now. Like,
the Niners getting their ass kicked right now?
Oh, they are getting destroyed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl. Either them or Houston. I'm pulling for Seattle now. Screw it. I mean, I like their fan base, whatever. Dude, this time of year, every year, I question a lot about everything. Like, I don't know how we do this I don't know. And and then I wonder, like, I sit and I wonder, there's a reason these guys are breaking down. This is why I question how much longer can you continue to do this? How much longer can they continue to go this far and fall short before we start seeing an unraveling? The resilience they've showed up until this point is honestly one of the more commendable things I've ever seen. To continue to go back to bat and get back to this point, lose in the worst way you've ever seen, and then find a way to go and do it again just to have the same result again. Like, it is unbelievable. And I wonder when, Rico, like, the buck just stops. How much longer can you do this?
That's the thing.
Like, that's yeah, right? Like, even like, it's not even just winning one. Like, dude, not even getting to one. We talked about it the other day that the Bills were the only team in NFL history to have not won 3 Super Bowls based on the fact that they had won 6 consecutive playoff games. Or, 6 years in a row with a playoff victory. The Chiefs and the Patriots and the Cowboys all had 3 titles. Like, the Bills are doing things that only dynasty-type teams do, and they don't even have an appearance to show for it. This is why I'm left this time of year sitting here saying, how can I convince myself that eventually they'll do it? Every year, it is the same thing. And then it comes down to the same conversation. Who do we blame this time? Do we blame McDermott? Do we blame Bean? Do we blame the ownership? Do we blame Allen? Do we blame the kicker? Do we blame Kincaid? Every year, it's the same song and dance. It's just a matter of who's in the dance and what song is playing. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's the same outing. It's just a different tune and a different dance, but the result is still the same.
Let me play this for you.
I just
check this out. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'll read it for you guys. So Kevin Massari. Interesting. I mean, the facts are the facts. So Bills losing by 3 in OT on the road. Check this out. So obviously we know turnovers by the Bills. By the way, let's not forget the Bills are coming off of 5 days rest, traveling to the West. You're playing a team that has been on 2 weeks rest. I always thought that it takes, and you know what? Coach Sean Payton said it best in his halftime. He goes, when we got 2 weeks rest, it shows in the second half. But when you got 2 weeks rest, it really shows. Sorry, in the first half, it shows in the second half. Meaning you're going to look rusty in the first half, but the rest and all that will show up in the second half. And that's what it looked like today. These guys were well rested and we were beat up. Second most injured team in the league, going against the 26th most healthiest team in the league. Backups, Savage and Jackson. They get one play on the field, and it was a touchdown on each. That one killed me. The minute Savage came in, he was responsible for deep thirds, your side of the field. He decided to kind of overplay his position, and then the crosser came across his face. You're cooked. You're done. Okay? Had 100 more yards, 12 more time of possession, 41 yards rushing to running backs. No call on the Riley Moss, Brandon Cooks. Clear defensive pass interference. A Cook catch that turned interception. That's been what we've been talking about. Back-to-back pass interference calls on defense when a game that had less than 10 penalties called. I think there was less than 10 penalties called all game. And by the way, I didn't even know this. No defensive penalties called on Denver all game. And they've been the most penalized all year. Go figure. So
listen, I love Kevin, but once again, every year, this is what we do. We just compile a laundry list of excuses as to why the Bills fell short yet again. I mean, this is what we do.
Because there are a litany of people doing this thing right here.
Like, I love Kevin, and everything he said is like he didn't say a lot. Like, everything he said is 100% accurate. My problem with this is every year, this is what we do. We watch the game, we leave, we compile a laundry list of excuses as to why we. I see that list, right? I'm glad he compiled it all because you can look at it all in one spot.
Of course.
But am I supposed to read that list and say, they almost had it? Man, look at all the stuff that went wrong and they still almost had it.
Exactly.
Like, am I supposed to read that and say, gosh, all of this went wrong and the Bills still only lost by 3? Man, what an outing. Maybe 6 years ago I would have said that, Rico. Maybe 6 years ago, I would have said, God, they didn't have a thing go right today and they came up short. When this has happened 6 years in a row, yeah, I've had about enough of sitting and listing off every excuse I possibly can. Win the damn game. Seriously, all of those things happened. But once again, we are just left compiling lists of excuses that culminate in the loss, when the reality is they've had how many chances to win a game like this and have not. That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. The game is over in regulation.
I think that's why you
Go back to when the Bills played the Chiefs in the divisional round at home. Remember, Chris Jones got the bump on Josh Allen. Had he had just thrown the crossing pattern, it would have been a first down at the minimum.
Stuff.
Here we go. Signified, always giving me a little something. You always give me a little something. You never fail. You'll list every excuse in the book for Sean McDermott. Okay, dude. This is why people think you hate Josh Allen. First of all, that doesn't even make any sense. What excuses have I given McDermott? The primary excuse that everybody uses to fire McDermott, I go back to 13 seconds.
Guys, knock it off.
Like, what are we doing? What happened today that has you saying, man, McDermott's got to go? And also, how does that correlate into people thinking I hate Josh Allen? I didn't want to do this anymore.
No, it's tough. I'll tell you this, though. Watching this play right here, kind of, I was surprised this didn't get a lot of look. I was surprised very much so that they didn't have a longer look at this. I can't tell you.
So that's not a call, but the other one is. Like, this is the point we were talking about. You swallowed the lip. And what
let me hold on to your arm for you. Let me hold on to you.
What did Gene Steratore say? Say?
Unbelievable.
He said, there's not enough there, Jim. There's not enough there, Jim. They're going to let him play in this moment. What about the final two?
Unreal. Yeah. Throw that flag right there. Anyway, it is what it is. This is why you can't allow opportunities to slip. You gotta tackle those opportunities right when you have them, or you're stuck with trying to find little moments in the game to do. You got to take care of your business right off the rib. Can't turn the ball over. So it's tough. It is tough, man. Folks, not much else to really say. This was a tough one for the Bills. That's going to be a tough, long flight home. The only thing that will cure this feeling is a good night's sleep and just time, man. Like, I don't know if you can even watch the rest of the playoffs. I don't know if you could. If you're a player, you're like, I don't even care who wins this thing, man.
I mean, could the AFC be worse now? You're going to get a backup quarterback in Denver and either C.J. Stroud or a Patriots team that, of course, we all despise. So good luck watching that game next week.
Oh, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's tough, man. It's tough. Tough being a Bills fan, bro. It's tough being a Bills fan. And all we're going to get is just conversation and conversation. And listen, we're having this conversation now. Guys, I'll tell you right now, over the offseason, is going to be a lot about what's going to take place with Sean, what's going to take place with Brandon Beane. Then you're talking about who could be potentially the guy. And then we're talking about roster moves, like who deserves to come back. Do you bring back Brandon Cooks? Is he enough to bring back just for I don't even know now. I mean, it's tough. It's tough, man. We had a second round draft pick in Keon Coleman, caught a ball, redeemed himself, got a touchdown, but nothing else after that. It's tough. It's tough, man. So here we are. Bills 33-30, tough loss to the Broncos on the road. With 5 days rest, you got to give them that. The NFL kind of effed up on that. Give these
Buffalo fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars Internationals offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
Guys, the equal amount of time to recover and get going. And by the way, remember what we were talking about? What's it really like breathing when you're out in in Colorado? What are these players going through? Picture drinking out of a straw, drinking a milkshake, but there are many little holes in the straw. So you're working really hard to get air and get that milkshake to come up. And it's coming up, but you got to work really hard for it. And that's what it's like being out there. So here we go. What do? The receiver room is a mess. Gabe Davis ain't coming back. Shavers, who knows? I mean, he'll recover, I'm sure. Do they bring him back? Is he good enough to bring back? I know he's a fan favorite, but we can't get into heart right now. We got to get into talent. And we need talent out of the receiver room. You look at what the Dallas Cowboys did. They had George Pickens for a measly third-round draft pick. You saw what George Pickens did for that offense. That offense was humming. It's too bad the other side of the defense couldn't do diddly squat. There needs to be playmakers brought to this squad. And we fell short. Shall we get to the super chats? Because we got quite a bit that we got to go through. We got to respect those that have gone through. And if we have to hit some things up, we definitely will. First and foremost, I'm gonna thank my man Brian Sorbo and Keith Lewis for becoming members. We appreciate you guys very much. It's a tough time. And the fact that you guys were like, you know what? Love this. I need to be part of this. We're going to be doing this all off season. Much appreciated. Shout out to my man Keith Lewis for sure. Dan Bill says, "One before I die" starts to sound more like one before humankind extincts. It does feel that way, man. It feels that way heavily. Jacob, I love Josh. We all do. But he's got to put in extra work this offseason. He gets too excited, nervous. It's explicitly affects his decision making. His decision making was a little tough this game, but this is more so if you give Josh the weapons, he'll do it. It wasn't enough. There wasn't enough. But you know what? Bo Nix didn't. I mean, look at what the Denver offense was looking with. Troy Franklin goes down.
No run game.
No run game. They had two receivers go down this game. So they had Cortland Sutton and God knows who. I mean, you saw what happened.
Yep.
You saw what took place. So like we can't sit here and
this is why like it's just I have a tough time sitting here doing this. Like I have a tough time listing off all these things when in the reality is like the other teams are doing it too. You know, other teams are doing it too. All of the excuses are real things. We're not making them up. But when it's happened every year for over a half decade, it is extremely hard to continue to rest your head at night saying, almost had it. Next year is the year.
Dan Echo, what up, Dan? Dan says, that 50-50 ball, only we go out like that, lose by millimeters, and people wonder why we feel cursed. The McBean era is over. Fire them ASAP. Josh's prime TikTok. He needs weapons. Sick and sad. Oh yeah, we definitely sick and sad. And Dan, you ain't lying, man. When it really does make you want to say, "Yo, bro, is that GM tandem it?" I mean, look at Miami Dolphins did. Miami Dolphins, they got rid of their GM that's been part of that squad for the longest time, and they got rid of their coaches. So now they're doing a fresh start. Do we do a rebuild? Is this a retooling that we need to do? Does Pegula? I mean, a lot is going to be on Pegula. What is he like? He might straight up say, "I like this tandem. They bring me wins. We're always in contention. We just need to get the right pieces and so on and so forth." He might go that way, right? The Rooneys loved Mike Tomlin. He has us in contention every year. I'm always going to take that chance until Mike Tomlin's the one that said, "I'm stepping down."
The other thing, too, is Mike Tomlin was with that team for almost 20 years. This was McDermott's 9th year.
Absolutely. So does Pegula look at this like the Rudies? No. I'm not moving on. I don't want to be a dysfunctional franchise that's switching and rotating coaches every 3 years. I don't want that. I have a proven winner in terms of regular season and getting me here, and I have a respected GM. But when you look at the results have to tell you something. And the picture that is painting you is a very sad picture. It's a very sad picture at the end of the day. And how do you continue that? How do you sell this to your fan base? That's the tough part. Lead Robster. What's up?
Money
Mitch. Mitch, we appreciate you. You know that. Mitch
Big
and I were
time,
texting all game, bro. It was, bro, I'm feeling it, bro. I know this loss is on Josh. I am so appreciative for what McDermott has done here, but we might need a change of environment to even appear in the Super Bowl. I understand keeping him, but I think you need to get rid of the GM and OC. See, we're just talking about that. I love you boys more than you know, man. We love you too, bro.
Thanks,
and
Mitch.
that is going to be a real conversation this offseason. Don't get me wrong. You're going to hear it from First Take. You're going to hear from First Things First. You're going to hear from all the shows, and you're going to hear it. Depending on how this goes, especially if the Patriots win this whole thing, you're going to hear it 10 times. So I'm telling you right now, man, that we're going to be watching this very closely as to what the Pegulas decide to do in this case. We're definitely going to see that. Appreciate you, Money Mitch.
Yeah,
and
thank you, brother.
Man, we love you, man. What's Signify saying, man? Because I know he's been on your ass today.
No, he just cannot stand that I go to bat for McDermott in moments where I feel like it's undeserved to get on him. I mean, I just don't see it in this game. But, like what Money Mitch just said, I understand that sentiment. You're nearly a decade in. You have no Super Bowl appearances. History would show you that it is absolutely impossible, you would think, to have not at least appeared in a Super Bowl. I get that. I hate this idea of pinning the blame of a loss here on him. If you want to look at the collection of what they've done and say he's been great but not good enough, fine. That's my whole thing. And Signified saying, I'm resigning my fandom until Bean is fired. I'm done.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm torn here. There's really if I woke up and saw it, I'll just say I wouldn't be shaken up over it like I would be McDermott. And I like Bean. But I really do think that this past year, with the window in which the Bills are in that's ever diminishing, I thought this was a really bad year. And the results now being what they are, on top of what the year was for him, my thing is do I see it happening? And the answer to that question is no. That's my whole thing. And I sit here and I wonder if are we wasting time even discussing it?
No, you're not wrong.
I don't know.
Not wrong.
I don't know. But I got to tell you, I'm more in this, I'm in this camp now where I'm like, I think you kind of said it earlier. You keep being like, this has got to be a year where it's just a home run. What Signified's adding to this by saying, I don't know how you watch the WGR meltdown and no deadline moves and say with a straight face, I like Bean. I feel like I was the only person on the planet after that WGR interview initially came out and said how bad of a look I thought that was on Bean. The amount of people I saw like, oh, you got to love the confidence in the players. You got to love it. Like, I'm watching that and I'm like, man, not good. Plus the bulletin board material that you have now cemented, and look at what that resulted in. This year wouldn't even look, it wouldn't look an iota as bad as it does if he hadn't done what he did there. And then, like what Signified saying, when you doubled down at the trade deadline, yeah, I mean, once again, if I wake up tomorrow and Bean's gone, there isn't going to be a part of me that's like, yeah, that's undeserved. There's going to be a part of me that said, hey, hell of a run, but man, this past year, if there was a change that needed to be made and this was it, no argument from me.
Check this out here. I'm going to put this clip up here. So this here is the PFWA pool reporter Jeff Leckwold interview with referee Carl Sheffers for this Denver Broncos game that happened today. The question was, what did you see on the pass to Brandon Cooks that was ruled an interception by Jaquan McMillan? Carl Sheffers' response: the receiver has to complete the process of a catch. He was going to the ground as part of the process of the catch, and he lost possession of the ball when he hit the ground. The defender gained possession of it at that point. The defender is the one that completed the process of the catch, so the defender was awarded the ball. So he didn't even bother looking at the point that he was down with his knee. Well, here's the question. Did the ball hit the ground? Sheffers, no, that was confirmed in the replay process. The interception was confirmed. Can you take us through the 2 pass interference penalties in overtime? Sheffers, the first one, 2nd and 10, Denver 47-yard line, was an arm grab. The defender held the receiver's arm down, which prevented him from going up for the pass with 2 hands. He was attempting the one-arm grab of the ball, and so that restriction of his right arm was why the pass interference was called. Question. And then the second one, the 2nd and 12, Bills 38. The second was early contact and the arm grab that materially restricted the receiver, which is so funny because the exact explanation here is what exactly took place in the end zone when Riley Moss held on to the arm of Brandon Cooks and no call. How about that?
That's what these things do nothing for me because they can just say whatever they want. Like
I love it, but it's always good to know. I didn't realize they could just release this right off the rip immediately after the game. That's something for me.
I heard Gene Steratore say there wasn't. You showed the video earlier. Was it Brandon Cooks on the near sideline or the far sideline near pylon? And I remember him saying there wasn't enough there. And in this stage of the game, you just don't call that. I remember that was what was said. Then later on, when he was asked to justify the flag thrown on either Tre'Davious White or Taron Johnson, one of the two. Yeah, Jim, I like the call. Like, it's whatever you got to say. No one knows anything really anymore. Once again, the process of a catch, no one knows. What's a pass interference? No one knows. And then to call that when they did, and the biggest thing I hate here the most is exactly what McDermott drove home in his presser there. How do you, with all the reviews that are conducted throughout the year, during an egregiously long period of time, to not spend a minute or two on what would have been what was a massive game-swinging play was inexcusable.
I got one from Trey White. Trey White was, and I heard I hear that he had lots to say. So let's listen in.
The interference at the end, was that a pure ticky-tack foul that they called?
I believe so. I thought that, I didn't interfere with the guy. When the ball got there, I swiped through, knocked the ball down, and fell on top of him. And, I just think that the crowd probably played a big-time factor in that. And also, referees are human, man. And, people make mistakes. And I just think that it should be up to the players to decide the game, man. With a game that's fought so hard, come down to the wire, plays like that. I mean, there's a professional bang play as a defensive back, man. That's what you want. Take the guy to the ground and finish the play. And referees, they just don't know ball, man. I just think that, whenever a guy don't look back for the ball, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which you don't have to when you're out of phase, which I was out of phase and I caught back up with the guy and played through his hands. Once the ball got there, I didn't touch him before the ball got there. I feel like I finished through the pocket like like I'm coached to do. That's what it was, and I just think that they just had bad judgment on that play.
Tough. It's tough, man. So there you have it.
This is the third consecutive loss for the Bills. By the way, this is just hitting me. Third consecutive loss by 3 points in the playoffs.
That's where we're at right now. Let's get back to these super chats because we got a few of them. We got my man Michael Warfield says, "Yo, that was an effing catch by Cooks. We got robbed." I mean, the amount of times we play this thing back and forth, bro. It's going to be replayed and replayed and replayed, and people are going to talk about it. The annual "is this a catch or is this not a catch" is right back up again. And guess what? The subject will be the Buffalo Bills, and that's
so we got another. I got another angle on that, by the way. So we have this one,
yeah.
But then look at this. I mean, I just don't know how this is inconclusive to the point where you don't even take a look at it. He is down. Isn't the play dead there?
I mean, it's a great still shot. They're looking at like he didn't have control going down and all that nonsense. But like, it should be dead. Dead it. Foot, knee down, hip down, shin down. Dead. But did he have control? Did he have control? And that's what's going to be. And here's the thing. I think it was Kansas City Chiefs, Xavier Worthy caught the ball at the top of he had the ball sticking out and went down. They called that a catch. And it bobbled out. Oh, no, he had control of it, had the feet. You'll never know. And this is what happens when you have different officiating crews doing it. Some people see it one way and some others. Rock and roll is.
You're looking at this, by the way. The Dez Bryant catch game, Rico, was in 2015. We are 11 years removed from that and still zero progress in what the hell a catch is.
Thank you. Still don't know. Rock and roller, Bean or McDermott or both. Someone's got to go. Go Bills. If I have to choose who goes, it's Bean.
Yep,
it's Bean.
Point. No debate.
There's no way about it. Nowhere else about it. What's up, Sandy? Sandy comes in and says, "I have lost all hope. This team is never winning a Super Bowl." It does feel that way, man. It feels that way. We're always in contention, but it slips out of our grip. Slips out of our grip. Golly, man. My man, Mr. Miles comes in and says, "This is a funeral. Changes have to happen now. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and thank you, McDermott. Love you, new head coach, and free cap space." Well, cap space is a whole nother thing, right? There's a lot that has to go down because I feel like we've been in cap hell it just feels that way. Like at least the last 5 years we've been in cap hell. And I'm sick and tired of being broke every time and going to the bin. It's been a joke. Bargain bin bean. Going to the bin again. Like, bro, when are you going to have some money back in the bank, bro? Like, what are we doing here? And here we are. So do they make the changes? I mean, it's going to be very interesting. I don't know. The Pagulas don't talk. They're like, you know what? The owner for the Baltimore Ravens was candid as ever. I don't think we get that from the Pagulas. Steve Biscotti got out there and was like, "Yeah, would Coach Harbaugh would he have been back had he won this game?" No. Immediately answer that question. He was gone regardless. What about Lamar Jackson? Yo, all this. Well, not Lamar Jackson. Tomlin. What about all of this? Can he be the coach? No. When he did all that, not happening. Pagulas won't do that. We'll never understand where they see things. I don't watch hockey. I don't know the Sabres enough. I can't go off of what the Sabres do and go up. I don't know. You can compare the two. And from what I hear, they don't deal well with the Sabres. But this is a winning franchise with the Bills. We just can't win. Can't win the big one. So do you move on from both? Do you move on from one? Do you keep them both? It'll be a very long offseason. We're going to find out. We'll soon find out. Don Cali, I felt that the turnovers, I think that's what you're saying. Feel that the turnovers, but when is someone going to make play for Josh Allen? 13 seconds, Diggs drop, Kincaid drop, Hardman drop, sickening ending. But did you not see the missed passes by Josh? I'm not going to sit here and not have Josh take some blame in this because he needs to. But there were some moments that Josh needed to, be the person to make those plays. and he had them. They were there, and they didn't come down. Did others not step up as well? Of course. But your franchise, your big man, he's got to be the guy that leads the way. Jimmy Johnson. What's up, Jim? Let the cry cast begin. Oh, here we go. Allen is no Mahomes. Congrats on 1 MVP in 8 years. Hopefully, Kansas City will get back to the normal reason for your annual cry cast. Great game. Knicks took you guys to the shed. Jim Johnson, thank you for the super chat, my guy. But if you were watching football, you know damn well nobody took the Bills to the shed. We took ourselves to the shed. Let's keep it a buck here. But I appreciate that super chat. And I know you're feeling it because your Kansas City Chiefs had a bad year this year. It wasn't great. And hopefully your quarterback is back for week 1 next year. So we'll see. Appreciate that. But I know you trolling. So let's keep it rolling. Signified knows. Your boy Signified says, I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. Yes, the turnovers are the most direct reason we lost. But I'm not blaming Josh. Oh, okay. Surprise. Here's why. Coaches and GMs grow on trees. Generational QBs do not. It's time to fire these assholes. Now, let me tell you something. Signified knows. Signified knows. The last time I checked, players play, coaches coach. At the end of the day, who is on the field making the plays? McDermott didn't get on the field. Brandon Beane didn't get on the field. Joe Brady didn't get on the field. You know who's on the field? Josh Allen, James Cook, Brandon Cooks, Trey White. Those guys are on the field. You got to make the plays. Joey Bosa's on the field. So miss me with that generational QB nonsense and all that crap. They didn't make enough plays. The players that play on the field within the white lines, they didn't make enough plays. Period. There was no, it was McDermott's fault. Nope. Oh, Joe Brady. Nope. Players on the field that played, that's who you should be pointing the fingers at. Ain't nothing to do with the coaches right now. That's on the players. So miss me with that. Appreciate you, Signified. You know you're my guy. Can't have that. No way. Michael Fawcett, Hawk fan. Love you on the round table. Was 100% pulling from you for you. Some dicey calls at the end. Much love. That's your boy, Michael Fawcett.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, brother. See you Tuesday. And, dude, your Hawks are, I mean, this ought to be illegal what they're doing.
Is it a beatdown right now? Is it actually that bad?
34-6, about to be 41-6.
Oh, shit. Okay, is that bad? Okay. By the way, shout out to my man Aiden. Aiden, I want to apologize to you right if you're still listening. You left me a super chat comment and I missed it right at the end and I felt sick. So I'm glad that I caught you right now. My man Aiden says, yo, well, girlfriend of 2 years just broke up with me and the Bills loss looks like oh golly. Woo. This guy just got his girl just broke up with him. And me and my Bills loss looks like, and me and the Bills loss looks like I'll be meeting a tree later. Nah, you ain't going to do all that. Love the channel, and you guys are the best. I appreciate you, Aiden. Aiden, females will come and go, brother. The females will come and go. It's tough. You'll be all right, big fella. You know what I'm saying? Hang with us. Hang with us. Sometimes you just need fellowship with your boys. Right now, it's tough. We're all hanging together, bro, right now. This loss is sick, and that's your girl's loss. That's her loss, man. That's her loss.
Facts. Well said.
That's her loss. Q Diggs, Mike Tomlin. He says 2 words, Mike Tomlin.
1 word, no.
And there it is. I'm not going to get any further than that. I'm going to leave it at that. My man said no to Mike Tomlin. Here we go. Richie Fresh, what's up? What's Richie Fresh saying?
Richie, until I see a front office coach change or both, I'm done. Beane, McDermott aren't on the field, but these guys just can't get it done. Sometimes a shakeup is needed. I'll always support you boys, but my health is more important. Yeah, I mean, you know, there seems to be no consideration for the health. That's for sure. I was texting my good buddy Nels' mom, and she was saying, you know, talking about how do we do this every week, and I said, I don't know. I mean, there seems to be zero consideration for our health. It is very, very tough to endure these losses year in and year out. But yeah, I don't know. We are at that point now. We have reached that Steelers-Ravens point where this is going to be the conversation until something happens. There's only 2 choices here. Either what we're doing right here will happen every single year, until Allen retires or a major change is made. Now, what kills me is that this was yet another year gone. You're crossing off yet another year. You're going into year 9. And I'm telling you, how lucky have we gotten with the way Allen plays? He has the longest consecutive start streak in the NFL. They've also made the playoffs and won a playoff 6 consecutive years. What terrifies me is that this season isn't even the worst that could still be on the horizon. You just saw it with the Ravens and the Chiefs. I worry with the dejection that we just saw from the locker room, and rightfully so, because I just don't know how these guys continue to do it. When do we get to the point where this whole thing collapses? And when where we see, like, you know, a Chiefs style season like just now, the difference is the Chiefs can have 10 straight seasons of this, and who's complaining? Who's complaining? The thing is, the Bills, should this continue to trend downward, will have absolutely nothing but a Josh Allen MVP to show for this era. Absolutely nothing.
Right line. You are not lying. PD.
This is why even an appearance to me, Rico, would mean a lot. A lot.
PD, you ain't lying on that. PD comes in and says, I don't know. He just may not be a Mahomes or Brady. Last few years, he's had the ball to win, and it didn't happen. And you're not wrong. We pay this brother a lot of money, and we rely on him in those crunch time moments. And he's, listen, the facts are the facts. Ball in your hand, a minute left. What do you got? Ball in your hand, 3 minutes left. What do you got against the Kansas City Chiefs last year? Right? That's 2 consecutive years where the ball is in Josh's hand. It's not on the defense where Josh did his job and the defense didn't come through. No. The ball was in his hand and didn't come through. So
3 straight years.
3 straight years. Right. Was it against Kansas City? My gosh. Right? Ball in your hand. You have an opportunity to ice these boys out. 3 straight years. There comes a time, man. There comes a time. Get right. I don't give a F about all this commentary. We turned the ball over 5 times, 4 on Allen. I said we beat ourselves with the BS yesterday, and we certainly did. We did beat ourselves. Get right ain't wrong. We beat ourselves, man. Shinra says, yo, BS, you can hindsight. Refs blew this game, period. Nah, can't leave it up to the refs. Problem is, in sports, never leave it up to the refs. Don't do it. Were the refs inconsistent today? Yes. There was less than 10 how many? Let me just double check here. I want to just make sure.
While you do that, I want to ask my man Moho a question real quick. Just 8 genuine penalties. 8 penalties.
Yeah.
Genuine question. Seriously, it's a genuine question. Can you explain to me the reason why the NFL would want to rig with no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar, no real marquee quarterback remaining? I know Stafford's great, but he doesn't seem to be like that guy that everybody sort of kind of gathers around. He doesn't seem to be like a face of the league. Maybe that's right. Maybe that's not good. Maybe that shouldn't be the case. He's great, but he doesn't seem to be one of the faces of the league, even though maybe he should be. With all that said, I would seriously, I'm going to look for you in the comments. I would seriously like you to give me an explanation as to why you think the NFL, this game in particular, with all that surrounds this playoff picture, why they would want to rig the Bills to lose this game. Genuine question.
You know he won't answer you. You know that. And if he does, look for it. And we'll put it out there.
Yeah.
Richie Fresh is getting to a point where I'm questioning if Allen, which is crazy, but if Allen is, but we about to watch Bo Nix and potentially others make an appearance before us. And you're looking right at it. Yes, you're looking right at it. It just hurts because we're looking at Josh, his age get higher and higher and higher. And then you start to wonder, what is it ever going to happen with him? Because if anybody's going to take us to the Super Bowl, you know, and you think it's got to be Josh. It's got to be him. And right now, he's been knocking on the doorstep. He's knocked on the doorstep twice. We've been in the AFC Championship twice. And we fell short. Divisional round, fell short. It's getting tough, man. So I don't blame you, Richie. I don't blame you one bit.
Seen a bunch of answers, by the way. Small market. The Green Bay Packers have won multiple Super Bowls. Have you been to Green Bay, Wisconsin? Kansas City, I'll tell you this right now. Kansas City, folks, it ain't Manhattan. This idea of a small market, the NFL is predicated on small markets. The NFL is fueled by small markets. No other sports organization is fueled on small markets the way the NFL is. Are you seeing what the LA Dodgers are doing? Their payroll is $2.5 billion.
Sheesh.
The NFL is so great because it is built on the back of small markets. And there are several teams. New England isn't even in Boston. You've been to Foxborough? Like, you would drive through it in 30 seconds if you didn't know where you were. So, like, my best example to give you there, though, would be Green Bay and Kansas City. Do you think the NFL, if they wanted to eliminate a small market, would want to prop up Kansas City, Missouri as their golden goose?
Listen,
No.
just call it what it is, but just say you're wrong. Dash, that's a bad one. Come with another one because, no, that wasn't it. My man Miss Hannah, says this loss is on Josh and Bean. 2 years in a row, defense gave Josh the ball back to win the game, and he couldn't get it done. And by the way, that's 3 years in a row. And you're right. The loss is on everybody, but there are some major players in this one, and Josh certainly was. And I know he's feeling it right now. He feels like crap, and he's going to feel like crap for a long time. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm Josh, I'll be real. If I'm Josh Allen, I'm going to sit and stew in this for a little bit, and it's business from here on out. And what I mean by that is this. When Brandon Beane is looking at the bargain bin again, I'm going to be like, bro, what are we doing? Listen, get me someone that's going to make me win. Now it's business, all right? I was doing the whole, like, I love you guys and I love everybody here and, we work for each other. It's all going to be that. But now it's business. Get me somebody in that receiver room. Let's get some dogs now. Because if Pagula comes to me and says, hey, Josh, I'm trying to decide on what I'm supposed to do. You're my quarterback. Should I bring back Bean? Because I could totally see that happening. I could totally see the Pagulas bringing in Josh because the dynamic is already weird because McDermott rolls up to Pagula separately. Bean rolls up to Pagula separately. They don't come in together. And I'm sure Pagula goes around that, and the Pagulas will say, Josh, this is what I'm trying to do. What y'all think? Do you want me to bring these guys back? And if you got to choose one's got to go, which one's got to... Bro, it's all business. So I hope that he means it, and he comes in, and when he says something, I hope these guys somewhat listen. I'm not saying personnel, but I'm saying go get me a big-time dog, not some bum that's not going to do nothing. We've had those. Hasn't worked out. Get right. Allen lost this game for us, period. I mean, he's definitely a contributor. Diggs, 5 turnovers. Either you coach it or allow it. Either you coach it or allow it. Well, you don't coach for turnovers. You certainly don't. That's funny. You coach it or allow it. I don't think either of them is true, but that's a funny comment. I like that one. 5 turnovers, end of story, inexcusable. It is inexcusable. That is the facts. 50 Shades says the same team we saw all season showed up at the end.
That's a fair point.
That is a fair point. One can say we've been waiting for this team to show up, or the team that lost to the Atlanta Falcons, the team that lost. I mean, like, it's weird because when we lost to those teams, we just got beat. We looked like we just weren't supposed to be on the field. This was not the case. So this was a weird case, a very strange case. Mr. Nice Guy. Per Adam Schefter on ESPN, Bonus suffered a season-ending broken ankle. It is making its rounds. It is flooding the internet right now.
Yeah, when that first hit, like I literally went, when I first saw it in the comment section, I went to Twitter, and I did a pretty decent scroll, and I'm like, I watched his post-game interview. There was no indication he was in any pain, much less a season-ending injury. I cannot believe that he is out for the rest of the playoffs.
Crazy. I mean, if he was able to walk off, I'd say, like, listen, maybe I can play in the game a little bit, but to put Jarrett Stidham? Are you kidding me? Anyway, we're about to find out how good a coach Sean Payton is. Let's find out what we got here. Bo Nix broke the ankle. We get that. It's flooding it like crazy. Let's go to our guy, Mr. Signified Nose, coming right back at it again. Sig, you can say don't blame the refs all you want because you hate Josh and you suffer from DDS, but that Cook's catch interception swung the game. If ruled a catch, we're not even talking about how the turnovers cost us the game. I can guarantee you, and I'll speak for myself, that I would have absolutely been bringing up the turnovers. And I would have been saying, because I thought we were going to win this game, I would have been saying, bro, if not for whatever reason or however we scored, we should not have won this game. Would have been my words, because we shouldn't have. No team is ever supposed. I don't care who your quarterback is. If you turn the ball 5 times, you should not win that game. You should not win that game. You don't deserve to win that game. If you do, something fell your way. Something almost fell our way. But I would have been saying the same thing. But Signify knows has us. He's got us pegged for hating Josh Allen. You would think we hate Josh Allen like you hate Lamar Jackson, and you absolutely hate Lamar Jackson, and he plays for another team. Signify, you wildin', bro. You wildin', son. Shining says, yo, if anyone needs to go, it is Bean. Roster choices. I'm with that. That's fair. Signify knows, comes right back at it. Says, yo, I would sell my soul. Golly, Signify, man, relax. He said he would sell his soul for just one Buffalo Sports Championship. Deep down, I know they somehow F something up. Let me tell you, the power of life and death is in the tongue, my man. Watch what you say. You don't want to do that. But that's a wild comment, bro. Listen, man, that's why sports is so great. That's why it's so great, man. It's the ultimate, football is the ultimate team sport, and you need everybody. But there are some major contributors that make you lose a game or win a game. And Josh has always been the hero that makes us win games. But when we need him the most, and he knows that himself, he's fallen short. And it sucks. It really does suck. We got ourselves a little troll, a little Kansas City troll. I like that. He says, Allen trash and y'all copy cheese plays. Are you kidding me? How old are you, 12? You got to be. Appreciate you, Flapjack. What do we got here?
Dude, this ass kicking, by the way, that Seattle is. Every time I look over, Brock Purdy is turning the football over. Every single time. This is unbelievable.
Poor Brock. Richie Fresh, if Pats win and play Denver, Pats go to the first Super Bowl with a second-year May and the first-year new head coach. I wouldn't call him new head coach, but first-year head coach. As Boss once said, biggest indictment on this organ.
So, oh, no. Richie's talking about what I had said when it became inevitable that New England was in the race for the 1 seed and they were going to win the AFC East. I said what would be the biggest indictment on this organization would be the Patriots going from the dynasty to a full-on rebuild to back to the Super Bowl before the Bills ever even got a 1 seed.
Okay.
I had said that I think that there would be no bigger indictment on the organization than that, and that's still very much alive. I think we can come to the conclusion that we would probably put our money on either New England or Houston to beat Jared Stidham. So if New England wins tomorrow, welcome back to the Super Bowl, New England. We missed you for the last 5-6 years. It's been a really long time since we've seen you.
Could you? Oh, man. Mr. Crawley says, yo, this is why Josh Allen isn't elite. Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard that before. This is why he isn't elite. He can't master the mundane. That missed screen pass to Shakir was the game. Then you add the 4 turnovers. Him and Lamar are second tier. I wouldn't put those two. I wouldn't say that. But it is fair for you to be like, bro, you got to get it done. You got to get it done. You just got to. I mean, listen, when you saw Pat Mahomes, when he won the Super Bowl, he won it with Schuster, McCole Hardman, MVS, and Kadarius Toney.
Yep.
I mean, listen. I mean, nothing superb about that group, but he did it anyway. I mean, let's not forget he's got Andy Reid and he's also got Travis Kelce, but the receiver room wasn't saying a whole lot, but he got it done. Got it done. Richie Fresh. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, I missed something here. Honestly, I feel both QBs, Allen being the reason his team lose and Knicks winning, but not being able to continue for the season. Oh, it is sad. You talk about that? Allen loses, he's home. Bo Nix wins. Now he can't even play. Stidham is in. Yikes. And Ellinger is his backup? What? Yikes.
Literally, no one's happy after this game. Literally. How about that?
No. There's a video Bosa hitting. Oh, yeah, we saw it, baby. We saw it. Jacob, Allen played like garbage. We get it. Not the result we wanted to hear, but this was just what it is. We all seen it. He's got to get better in certain situations. That deep ball's got to get better. I guarantee you, he improves that deep ball. We got something. That deep ball is something that, because I've seen it you've been hearing me say this for the last 2 years. That deep ball is got to be better. And there's moments, even when Diggs was on the squad, Diggs would be waiting for the football, waiting for it. Let me run underneath that sucker, man. So that's something, if Josh is going to work on something this season, man, is get the guy with the speed and work on that freaking deep ball. Straight up. Fluff. Team effect losing, yes. Injuries, hat tip to Bo. Yo, hat tip to Bo for real, man. Bo did what needed to do. He made the big plays. He saw and took advantage of two weak pawns on this defense and lit them up. Darnell Savage, you're out. Dane Jackson, been a bum, still a bum. That's what you get. I'm surprised they went with Savage and not Hancock. Very interesting. But anyway, neither here nor there. Our guy, JR, Josh Richardson. What up, JR? JR comes in and says, yo, what up, fellas? I love the Buffalo Fanatics until I die. I appreciate you. You know that. We do. I look forward to y'all show and Pierre's live reaction. This offseason will be key for us. Let's trade for legit receiver one, get some help on defense, and we will be back on and winning. You know what's crazy? When you said let's trade for receiver one, we could have. We absolutely could have, and we dropped the ball. That sucks. Don't take Rico's hate on Allen to heart, guys. He is the same guy who was printing Nathan Peterman shirts. Oh, shit, JP, that means you've been here a while. Good for you, man. Good for you. Nate Peterman. I can't yell, man. It's late in the house, but appreciate you. I love the fact that you guys remember my Nate Peterman. I love it. It's been a while. You listen, that's when you know you're an OG when you've been talking Bills football. Artan says, yo, okay, but it shouldn't come down to one play. 5 turnovers in the playoffs, not acceptable. Don't expect anything but an L with that amount of giveaways. You damn right. There's no question about it. That's the facts. Our guy Ray comes in and says, thanks for a great year, guys. As someone outside of Buffalo, y'all give me a space to listen, always with the team. Go Bills. Listen, Ray, we appreciate you, and we appreciate that you have made us your daily listen. Appreciate you very much so. Love it.
Yep.
Fluffy says, yo, it's the no goal BS. 99 Stanley Cup in third OT. I don't know hockey. I don't know if Bot knows hockey like that.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. He was in the crease play that cost the Bills or the Sabres a Stanley Cup.
The no pickups at trade deadline is why B needs to go. It was well known, and that's the thing, man. If they had to make a decision and say why did he get let go, it should be that one. You had an opportunity to fix this offensive receiver room with giving up a first-round draft pick. Let's go through your first-round draft picks and find out how well you've done with your first-round draft picks. It's been terrible. You could have gave it up, and we could have had a piece on this team, but you said no. So here you go. And you know what the crazy part is? It could have turned out that we could have had Jalen Waddle and Brandon Cooks on one squad. Could you imagine? Anyway, let's keep it rolling. Josh comes in and says, love listening to you guys talk Bills ball. Been a listener since 2018. We appreciate you. It's just a heartbreak every year. Josh, man, you ain't lying, bro. We're feeling it. And I'll believe it or not, I've been doing this a long time. So is Bot. These moments, although sucks, it's good to talk about it because there was one point where we didn't have this outlet. So we would stew on our own and then go to the message boards, at least for me, and look for something in Facebook and that. This is an outlet. And this outlet has allowed us to really get close to this content creating thing and get really good at it. So appreciate you very, very, very much, Fluff. And we'll go from there, man. Actually, Josh is what I meant to say.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, appreciate you. Fluff says, yo, what was the narrative going into the season? Receivers and DBs. All year we had a chance to upgrade, and it cost us. Yes, turnovers hurt, but we were still in it. We were. And guess what? The ultimate result was a loss. Right? No DBs. Terrell Bernard was essentially benched. There's some conversation that we need to have for sure. And I'm really hoping that, by the way, Dorian Williams is okay because that boy took a smack at the beginning of the game, and that kind of set the tone a little bit. Don Catlett says McDermott has evolved as a coach. Players matter more. Players matter more, meaning they play on the field. I think that's what you're trying to say. But at the end of the day, they like McDermott. They play for McDermott, and I don't think anybody in that room, the same way that Tomlin was allegedly, they were like, no, we don't want you to leave. I think it would be the same way in the Bills locker room. I could be absolutely wrong where they probably want nothing to do with him, but I think these guys respect the hell out of him and want to play for him. That's my take on that. Hannah comes back and says Dane Jackson coming into the game at a key point every year in the playoffs is just a new war flashback. If it's not Dane Jackson, is Kyer Elam. So go pick your poison. But that was tough, man. They both come in at a crucial down, and Bo Nix just picked them apart. I'm on you. I'm on your behind. And that's exactly what took place, man. Tough blow. My man King says, yo, how would y'all feel about bringing back Cooks for a year? I was talking I was talking about that earlier with Bot, and I was like, yo, I'd bring him back. I'd bring him back, and he'd be like a depth piece, and we go out and do what we need to do. But like what those tears showed me was he cares, and he sees something, and they were building on something together. He's going to be 33, bring him back on a 1-year deal. If he gets cut because he got beat out by someone, so be it. But I would bring him back personally. The rest of this, like Keon Coleman, bro, if they moved on from him, I wouldn't sleep. I would sleep like a baby, right? Khalil Shakir obviously will be returning. Josh Palmer, I don't know what the hell we're doing with Josh Palmer. I really don't. That guy was an utter disappointment to me. And then the rest of it is just, it's up for grabs. You do what you want to do with that. Would you bring him back?
Cooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked what I saw at the end of the year. But the thing of it is you can't bring him back to be wide receiver 1. I mean, he's got to be a guy that's going to be a role player.
No doubt. Clive says, yo, is this the final straw for the Pagulas to make some sort of organizational change? This was not McDermott's fault, but someone has to go. Someone has to pay. Do you agree with that? Does someone have to pay for the Bills yet again falling short from going to the Super Bowl?
I think we've reached the point where that's justified. Whether or not it's done is one thing. But I do think we have reached the point where if you want to say someone has to pay for this, then do it. You see what I'm saying? Whether they do it or not is one thing. They've reached the point now where if it were to happen, I would completely understand it.
Yep. 100%.
I keep watching this Brandon Cooks. I can't believe they rolled this a pick. Like, the more I'm watching this, the more I'm literally about to just vomit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this.
Not only that, you're watching the clip back and you go back to watch him in the presser and you're like, oh man, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. My man says, the Bat Dad League says, yo, seeing the Cooks clip hurts. He's been there for weeks and understands his quarterback. And I loved seeing that, by the way. Bean has been here for years. Love you guys, and we'll be here all through the offseason. We appreciate you, my G. Thank you, Rico and Bot. And listen, thank you guys for tuning in for us, man. It's been a year. It's been a year. I'll tell you that. How do Seahawks always have great defense? Because they draft well. You want to know how they do it? Because they draft well. Go look. There was a clip showing all their first round draft picks. Witherspoon, Jackson, Smith and Jigba. Go through all their first round draft picks and you'll see for yourself. They draft well. The Bills, whatever. I don't like him mad. I mean, we saw Deion Walker. Deion Walker is worth everything that we drafted him with. He's worth it. We didn't really get a whole lot out of the TJ Sanders this year. But I'm sure he was the higher draft pick, so we'll see how that shakes out. But Deion Walker is the truth. Max Hairston, still haven't seen a whole lot yet. There's some potential there. So there's still a lot to unpack here. Still a lot to unpack. JR says, yo, Brandon B needs to get fired tomorrow. Oh, they're done with Brandon. If we can live through 4 Super Bowl losses in a row, we can live through this. I mean, shoot. It's tough, though. We wanted this one. We wanted this one bad. I mean, not that the 90s guys didn't want it either, but come on, man. It's been too long. It's been too long since we've been back there. My man Artniz says, yo, Bot, it can't continue. Allen is going to get hurt seriously at this rate without legitimate help and changes. We've seen the most Buffalo has in 6 years. You agree with that? Have we seen the most in Buffalo?
Have we seen the most?
That's what he's saying. We've seen the most Buffalo has to offer in the last 6 years.
There's part of me that believes that, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you've gotten this close this many times. You've now lost 3 consecutive playoff games by 3 points. You've reached the AFC Championship twice. You have played some of your best ball in the postseason. Josh Allen had, at least up until this game, some of the best postseason statistics we've seen. They had won 6 seasons in a row. They had won a playoff game, no appearances. It's very hard to think, as I mentioned earlier, it is very hard to think they continue to get back towards the top of the mountain just to slide back down and keep crawling back up yet again. I think that there's a hefty argument to be made that they have given the most possible over the last 6 years. Josh Allen's going into year 9. We're not getting much more of Prime Allen. I mean, we now have 9 years of Prime Allen, or 8 years of Prime Allen gone with nothing but an MVP to show for it. I think there's a significant argument that the last 6 years have been the best possible chance you're going to have at getting one. And I think what we just saw this afternoon was perhaps the best chance the Bills have had to get one. And the result is, I don't know. I just don't know how it gets much better. And these teams are getting better too. Look at what Denver just did. Denver went from losing 31-7 to Buffalo in the wild card last year to the 1 seed in an AFC championship appearance. Look at what New England did. Went from a total rebuild to winning this division, having the right to play for a championship weekend appearance tomorrow. I mean, look at what these teams are doing that haven't even been in the mix. You just had the Chiefs gone, the Ravens gone. When does it get to the point where the Bills start to take an even further step down? Because what they've done up until this point has been about as good as you'll see in the league. The Bills are the winningest franchise among the 4 major sports in the last half decade. So to say that they've done about as much as you could possibly imagine, they have. It's hard to believe you're going to continue to have this level of success. It's hard to believe you're going to continue to have these many chances. And at the end of the day, Rico, they still get these, like with each additional chance has resulted in the same thing yet again. Like, I just don't know. I've been given no reason to believe that we'll see this dramatic altercation that will allow us to overcome these moments that have time and time again snake bitten Buffalo at the end of the season.
You couldn't have said it better, man. Pagula fired their Sabres GM, and they're gone. They've gone on a heater now. Maybe that gives the Pagulas more courage to fire Bean. Love you guys. Ooh, see that. I don't know anything about Pagula. This is the thing, man. Maybe I got to do more research on what he does with the hockey team, and then try to find a pattern to see if they match. But I'll tell you this much: if he's already fired him and the Sabres on a heater right now, so he's got the gumption to go out and say, "Yeah, it's not working out, bro. You got to go." So we're gonna see. We'll find out. We'll find out how pissed off he is. Because one thing I'll never forget is when Bean and McDermott, I think McDermott at the time, convinced Pagula to not draft Pat Mahomes and just let's draft Trey White instead and let's build for this roster. Let's build. And they got Josh Allen, so I'm sure he's thrilled. But Pagula wanted Pat Mahomes, and they said, "Don't do it, not yet." So I'm sure that stays with these guys. And whether he says, "All right, I'm done listening to you guys. I've seen what you need to do. You got to go. GM, you're out of here." Or both of them go. We'll see. I don't know if Pagula's got it like that, but we'll see. See, Jello, what up? Say Jello says, "Yo, how many times have you heard without Allen, we wouldn't be 500? It's clear to me the issue is Bean. No legit weapons for Allen to utilize in the receiver room. Time to move on." Like I said, neither Bot or I are going to sleep. We're not going to lose sleep if they announced on Monday, the Black Monday, that he's out of there. Star Baby says, "Yo, see you next season, Bills and Fanatics fam." We'll see. Listen, man, stick around for the offseason, bro. We're going to be doing this. So let's see what we got. My man, Led Roster. What's up? Led comes in and says, "Yo, I'm going to come back one more time. I can't hate McDermott even if they part ways with him. Neither will I. However, last year convinced me that Bean is a prideful perk. I think you want to say something else, but okay. Poor performance, and I think the culture is better without him. Maybe his time has run out. Maybe his time has absolutely run out. And I think when you look at the roster, and it's going to get louder. WGR has every right when they bring him on. If he ever does come back on, they have every right to blast him for everything, and he's going to have to answer to it. That's his job, and he didn't do his job correctly.
Sam Darnold just finished that game 12 of 17 for 124, and they won 41-6.
What a joke. The 49ers, man. I mean, they were beat up. The 49ers were beat up. And you know what? Here they are. I have a buddy of mine that's a 49ers fan. He says, "Yo, it's been real. It's been great." I said, "Man, you never know, man. These guys can do it." He's like, "No, I know my team. They're going to get blown out." And you just told me right now. Nate Vance says, "Josh Allen sold us today, fellas. 4 turnovers, multiple missed throws in clutch. Things will never change with this organization. Bean needs to be fired." Woo! People are on Bean's ass, boy. It's been a horrible day for the Buffalo Sports. Both the Bills and Sabres lost in overtime. Good Lord. Good Lord. Matt Hernandez. This loss goes further than tonight. Losing to the Falcons, losing to the Dolphins, Patriots, and not securing the number 1 seed this season needs a new lead at the helm. Front office and coach, but only one. You need a new GM. Boy, it's getting louder and louder. Andy, giving up 3 points before half, missed pass to Shakir to go up by 8. Knox wide open for the win, missed wide open Hardman before the final interception. Don't blame the refs. 17 had so many missed opportunities to win this game. And he said it. Ain't no way that you're gonna sit here and watch us make excuses. We've been on him all day today, and he knows it. There were missed opportunities, and we didn't take advantage. The Bills did not take advantage. Fluffy Panda, Pagula is starting to give more control over the people who know hockey. So hopefully they're leaning. Maybe we get a football president who handles things. I could totally see that. You get a president of operations, and I don't know, and they go from there. We'll see. Richard Fresh, Rico, respectfully, where do we draw the line? Yeah, Bean and McDermott not on the field, but that logic would mean coaches and GMs would never get canned. No, because there are sometimes coaching decisions cost people. When you know that somebody is getting beat like a mule and you decide to leave them in. What game was I watching? Harbaugh. Harbaugh was watching his quarterback get just beat up all night, and their offensive coordinator did nothing about it. And guess what? Greg Roman was offensive coordinator. He never made any changes, and guess what took place? Fired. Because that clearly was a coaching. He wasn't making any adjustments. We know the Bills make adjustments, and we've applauded them for the adjustments that they made defensively and offensively. Today was not a coaching issue. Cut it out, Richie. You know better than that. This was players not executing. Whether it's drop passes, whether it's missed tackles, whether it's a pass interference, whether being out of position, whether not knowing where you're supposed to be, and whether missing a throw, fumbling the football. Name it. I just named 7 things right there as to that has nothing to do with coaching. All players. I don't want to hear that. Miss me with that, Richie. And you know my guy. You're my guy, Rich. Can't do it. Thoughts on Patriots' chances? Don't give a damn. Thought?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Don't give a damn. Moving on. Could care less. My man, John Formicella. What up, Johnny? Johnny coming through. My man says, having there, the frustration levels are reaching the 4 Super Bowl runs. Ooh. Is it? Is that the feeling? Because I've always wanted to know, does this run of not getting the job done feel like the 90s Super Bowl? I can't imagine they feel the exact same, but it's probably, like you said, it's reaching that. And boy, oh boy, I could totally see that.
My dad said he was getting 90s vibes. He was feeling it. Also, I wasn't alive for it, but I have to imagine this is worse. You haven't even reached a Super Bowl. That team was a 4 consecutive AFC champion. I mean, this has to be worse. Plus, when they were losing only one of the Super Bowl losses came down to the wire. They got routed the other 3. The Bills are losing every single one of these seasons by the skin of their teeth in the most heartbreaking fashion you can possibly imagine.
Yep.
This is as bad as it. I got a buddy, my good buddy Josh, called me after the game to make sure, I picked up, checking it on me. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And he's a Giants fan. And I told him, I go, there's a part of me that finds this to be worse than being a Giants fan currently. At least you know where you stand. You know that you might have a couple of fun wins where you upset a team. You know where you stand. Going into this is what sucks the most about it. You go into every year knowing, essentially, for the most part, the regular season is borderline meaningless. You can pen this team in to win 10 to 13 games. So you spend 3 to 4 months to get to the point that we just got to today to have the exact same result every time. Yep. And that is a variation of the most heartbreaking way you can lose in sports. That, to me, there's an argument to be had that is worse than going into a year saying, there's no expectations, and hopefully one of these years we hit it out of the park with a coach and a quarterback, and we can make a run. This is about as tormenting. In terms of torment, this is about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I mean, listen, And when I saw that graphic, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, I was like, bro, really? Like, when is it going to be like Josh Allen with an asterisk that says Super Bowl? Like,
there'll be an asterisk, all right, the way things are going. We've talked about this before, where it's just shaping up to be, and I've said the same thing about Lamar and Burrow. This is the travesty that is this modern era of the top-tier quarterback. I think there's a very likely reality that we live in where a decade from now, you look back and some of the best quarterback talent you've ever seen results in 0 rings outside of Patrick Mahomes. Crazy.
It is crazy. Not gonna lie. Our girl Jem comes in and says, "Well, it's official. Sean McDermott and Discount Dollar Bean may have spent their last game with the Bills. It'll be Doomsday Saturday." I don't know, man. We're gonna find out. Pagulas have a big decision to make, and maybe it's not a big decision. Maybe they've already said these guys are going forward. I don't know. Artness says, no change until it hits the wallet of the management. Why change if you make money for losing?
Exactly.
NFL is business. No need to change while they're selling tickets.
I've been on this time and time again. Once again, I'll reiterate. I've said this 1,000 times, but it's worth bringing up because I want you to think about it from the owner's perspective.
Yep.
This organization is the winningest they are the winningest pro sport organization in all of sports over the last half decade. And when you look at the TV ratings the Bills generate, you sell out every single game. You're now going into a new stadium with far higher ticket prices. From a ownership perspective, Bean and McDermott could not be better business partners for Terry Pagula. Could not be better business partners. Because you can guarantee with this regime, you are going to at least get to this moment each and every year. That's what you've been guaranteed.
That's tough.
It's very hard to move on from that. And I get that. And even if you didn't have the finances involved, it's hard to move on from it in general. Because you've gotten this close with these guys so many times.
That's the tough part.
That's
the tough part.
I can't.
Fluffy Panda says, yo, Denver's backup QB last through a game, January 2024. How about that? How about that? King Charles, how is this rigged? Stop making excuses. It's time for the self-reflection. I don't know who the hell is saying it's rigged.
A lot of people.
It's ridiculous. Is there a world where Josh Allen beats Mahomes in the AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl and win the first one? I mean, he had his opportunity last year. Didn't do it. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know. Mr. Walker is not looking good, brother. It's not looking good. Malachi says, the worst part of being a Bills fan is seeing how many upstart teams always overtake us. We just stay stagnant and incapable. Other teams make Super Bowls. Well, one thing that plays a factor out of the Super Bowl teams that are still in it, Drake May, rookie deal. Denver Broncos, rookie deal. And they had the money to go and spend. But I don't know if the Broncos had the money because they had that whole Russell Wilson situation. So, I mean, there aren't any excuses. It does feel like startup teams are doing it, but the teams that are in contention is because they were bad at one point. They had the money to spend and go and do what they need to do, i.e. the Patriots. They spent a whole lot of money because they had it. They rebuilt their defensive front. They rebuilt their offense. They got the coaching staff in order. They're a legitimate turned around team, and they did it in a year. Good for them. Eclectic Basement says you'll have to stop bringing in recycled ex-players. That's Brandon Bean for you. Brandon Bean, with the money that we've been had, he's had no choice. But when is it that we're going to turn things around and have money in the bank and actually make significant, going after someone significant? Just feels that way. I mean, Joey Bosa was our biggest splash. Go figure. John Wisnowski. We shit the bed with these turnovers, but Broncos DBs most penalized in the league. How many penalties Broncos have today? Like 2. And guess what? There were 0 on the defensive side of the football. Except for that, maybe there was 1, and it was the defensive offside. That was it. It was a sad, sad day. Thank you, John, for that, my fellow Canadian. All right. Our guy, Brian, appreciate you both for all you do. Z-Bot said it perfect. The resilience of this team, the specific group regime is insane. Speak more on that and what you guys predict will happen. Do we eventually win and how?
I have nothing. I have absolutely no reason to sit here and tell you that they will eventually win. I've done this before. I mean, I've convinced myself that they've been this close. Therefore, next year will be the year in which that closeness from last year gets a little bit closer, and then finally you get over the goal line. I can't sit here and lie to you. I have no reason to believe that this team is going to be capable of doing it. Now, you're asking me, will we eventually win one and how? I cannot sit here with a straight face and say, yes, they will eventually win one. I think we are getting to the point now where it's becoming more and more likely that they will eventually not win one. That is what's so, the reason I am just so dejected right now is because once every year is completed, with this being the result, you scratch off one more lottery ticket remaining in your collection, and you only have so many. And you are evaporating the most pivotal ones, where you are in the prime of Josh Allen's career. You are going to have Allen play for as long as he's willing to play for this organization. They'll keep him around forever. But what version of Allen is going to continue to be this version of Allen that you can capitalize on how great he is? I mean, somebody asked earlier, have we already seen the best? And I think that there's a legitimate argument to say that we have. I cannot sit here and tell you how we're going to win it because I've seen them have elite receivers. Like when I've seen them have a Diggs not be able to do it. I've seen them have nothing not be able to do it. I've seen them have the rushing title winner not be able to do it. And then they're finding different ways to lose each and every single time. I have a really tough time sitting here and convincing myself it's eventually going to happen. I feel like I'd be a fool to sit here and try to convince you that it's eventually going to happen, because each and every time what happens is exactly the same thing, just a different variation of that result.
And I'm not even touch on that. But I'm on the opposite. I don't think this is the best we've seen the Bills. I think a loss like this, the one that hurts a lot, the one that allows you to reflect on what this year has turned out to be, where we were flawed, where we needed something, and we knew that we were working with a lighter deck. We know where we need to add to this team next year. I think Bean, if he returns, which I don't know what's going to take place, and McDermott, I think they really put their heads together and say, bro, we're going all in. Whatever we need to do, and we have to spend, and we have to move on from players and so on and so forth. We're not doing this bargain bin nonsense. We got to do it. So if we have to make some significant changes in terms of freeing up money and so on and so forth, now is the time to do it. And so I don't think we've seen the best team yet. I think this team will get better. We got some young pieces to work around. Deion Walker, you got Max Harrison, Cole Bishop on the back end. We're going to get a little bit more of Jordan Hancock. The linebacking crew that we have right now, I mean, right now it's a little iffy, so I'll hold off on that. But I think there's still some potential that we will get better. We will find a way where we get back into being a top contending, and we have a roster that
You think it's more likely the next 6 years are better than the previous 6 years?
I think so. I think we will, because I'll tell you why. Josh getting older, he may not be able to do the things that he was able to do with his legs. He's probably still going to do it, but wisdom, he's only getting older. He'll have a little bit more wisdom. You see, listen, Brady said it himself, not Brady, Belichick said it himself. Tom was all right, but he worked hard and he got better and he got better and he got better and he got better. So Josh is only going to get better. He's not going to plateau and just go just to the shits. He's too good for that. He's going to get better. He's going to get wiser. He's going to make better decisions. And then around that time, they're going to build this team up so they can put him back into contention. Same way the Chiefs are going to do it for Pat Mahomes. There's all these guys that missed the playoffs, bro. They're going to be rebuilding, Josh included and the Bills included. So I think they'll get there. They'll get there. Signify no says
what makes you say that? I mean, seriously, I gotta understand.
Hunger. What do you mean? What makes me say that? Hunger. They haven't won. What are we gonna do? Because we lost? It's just gonna. That's it. We just give up and we're just gonna.
No,
that's it. We made it. That's all we got. No.
I saw a comment earlier where it's like, I'll always have hope. So will I. But if I'm going to sit here and try to convince myself how this is going to happen, I mean, you're looking at the next 6 years. 6 years from now, Allen's entering into year 14. You think at that stage, you're bringing up Tom Brady. If you split Tom Brady's career in half, his first half of his career, which Allen's already through, was a Hall of Fame resume. Tom Brady had 2 separate Hall of Fame careers in one career. They've gone through Josh Allen's now going into 8th season, right? Ninth season, right? We're going to 9th. Yeah, you're 9 of Josh Allen.
Yeah, we're going to go
into nearly a decade in here. I think it's incredibly optimistic to think that the following 6 years after nearly a decade here is going to be better. I mean, just based on age alone, I feel like it's really hard to believe that we're going to see this. I don't know. I mean, I commend the optimism, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the moment right now, but when you constantly suffer this defeat year in and year out.
Yeah.
I talked about it earlier. I just wonder when you get to the point where this is going to start taking more of a toll than just divisional round exits.
I just feel that it's not. I think we're still going to build around it, because if you truly don't believe that Josh is not the answer and he can't get over it, then you might as well get what you can for Josh and restart this whole thing. That's not going to happen. They're going to build around Josh some more, and it's going to get better. They're going to know exactly what needs to happen. They had the formula. They went away from the formula with Diggs and the whole situation. They had Beasley. They had the formula, right?
That's the thing. Like, they did have the team, right?
They had the team.
Beasley was an all-pro slot receiver.
Yep. We had the team, and you can't tell me we can't build it again, because the same GM was the same one who put it together. He's just now, you learn more. You learn. So, like, okay, we had it. We had the formula. All right, we're going to try to build it and kind of tweak it along the way. It has to happen that way. It just has to. I cannot see us regressing and going to the shit. I just can't. And if it does,
no, I'm not saying that. I'm
not saying you are. I'm saying other people that are asking those questions. I'm saying other people that are asking the questions, like, well, how do you think it's going to get better? That's the reason. And but I mean, some folks are probably like, no, I'm tired of that, bro. I've heard that song and dance, that pony dance forever. I'm out. And
I think roster-wise, they can get better. That's no debate to me. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty easy conclusion to make. I'm more referring to, have they had their best cracks? And that's where I have a really tough time thinking, Rico, they just won a playoff game in 6 consecutive seasons. Only 3 other organizations have done that. It's hard to believe that they're going to win a playoff game at least for another 6 consecutive seasons in a row again.
Hear me out. This is why the NFL is it's unpredictable. I would have never thought the Seahawks would be in contention for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Geno Smith was their quarterback. The heck did they do last year?
Yep.
Not a whole lot. The year before that, not a whole lot then either. You just never know. That's the thing. It takes a couple pieces put together, maybe a new head coach, maybe a GM. I don't know yet, but we've not seen the last of it. Roster aside, I still think that we're going to see Bills always in contention and making things happen. Is it going to be harder? The Jets are going to be bolstering what they got to do. The Dolphins are going to be rechanging everything. It changes every year, but I never thought the Seahawks would be in contention. Never thought the freaking Patriots would be in that.
And see, but that point you're making is what scares me, is that now you're not just competing with the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Bengals or whatever in the world. Now you got to factor in these teams you didn't give a damn about 3 years ago. That's the scary thing.
That part is scary.
Now, for instance, like the division was essentially the Bills just had a fast pass to the playoffs within the AFC East for the last half decade. That's gone now. That's gone. And now you're like, like to your point, like you don't even think about these teams next year that'll all of a sudden be what you're talking about with Seattle.
Yep.
Like who will be good
and who will fall. And you never know. Maybe the Bills fall.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that do I think the Bills are going to continuously be competitive? Absolutely. Okay. Like maybe there's a year within the next decade where they miss the playoff. Like you have to factor that in. Sure. They're always going to be competitive. My whole thing is there a sizable argument that their best cracks are behind them? And I think that there genuinely is, because they've done things this last 5-6 year period that only dynasty type teams have done, and they got nothing to show.
I know
for it.
That's sick. That's sickening. You ain't lying on that, man. Our guy Bartek, what up, BT? I don't even know what to say, boys. Just devastated. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't meant to be, and maybe it'll never be. Only God knows. Love y'all, boys. Hey, man.
Love you, BT.
BT, we'll never know, brother. We'll never know. You're right about that. Our guy Josh Kern, bro. This is my 3rd message. Type out, I lost the first 2. I can't take this anymore. Josh Allen, sorry about that, brother. I'm glad that you got it in there. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league, and we fall short every year, and we lose every year. It is tough, man. when you know you have one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and you're like, okay, this is it. This is the one. This is the year. All right, our roster may not be good, but we're still competing because the window's still open because we got Josh Allen. And that is true too. But man, these start to, do you feel like this starts to hurt more? The more this goes on, the more it starts to hurt. And you're like, because I've seen 3 comments started saying, I'm done. Until y'all start winning, I'm out. That conversation and those statements are usually held for teams that get 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, paper bag style. We're a team that's constantly in the playoffs, and we're like, bro, until you start winning, I ain't watching y'all no more.
And that's the key. Wow. This is what sucks about it, because there was a large period of time. So you got to factor in, we're going into year 9 of Allen, but half of that period was still adjusting to post-drought. So you were still really enjoying the regular season and what's going to come. Now we're at the point, like I mentioned earlier, where you are essentially writing in stone the first week of September that the Bills are going to be right where they were today, because Rico, 6 years in a row, regardless of what they've done in the regular season, this is where they got to at minimum, the divisional round. So now you enter into September knowing that you are about to go through the trials and tribulations of about 3.5, 4 months of football to get to this point and have your heart ripped out of your chest. This is why when you're asking, does it hurt more? Yes, because in the first half of the Allen era, you still had that glimmer in your eye of like, oh, what's going to happen? Now it's like you don't even care about 3 months of the season. You're waiting for this moment just to get gutted. That's why I think you're watching even the locker room today, and it's hitting those guys like a truck in the way it never has before.
Well, let me put this on your soul for you, right? So we were talking about, like, is this the best team we've ever seen, and how quickly a team can rise to the top and drop quickly. Next year, the Bills, their opponents, obviously the AFC East, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, you got the Los Angeles Chargers, you got the Chicago Bears, you got the Detroit Lions, you got the Baltimore Ravens, you got the Denver Broncos again, you got the Houston Texans again, you got the Minnesota Vikings, you got the Green Bay Packers, and you've got the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah. So when you see what your opponents are next year, and when we talk about these opponents, by the way, so Patriots playoffs, Denver playoffs, Houston playoffs, Green Bay playoffs, Rams playoffs, Bears playoffs, Chargers playoffs. 7 playoff teams from last year we will be facing next year. So that will be fun. That'll be fun. That's for sure. All right, let's move on to the next super chat here that we got going. Shades of 50 says, watching Stroud versus Darnold Super Bowl will hurt. I will kill for a defense like those. And I think this is what McDermott and Bean have been trying to build, to have this super defense and just let the quarterback just manage the game. And they just have not been able to nail that. They just haven't. DeMeco Ryans was able to. They got their cornerback. They got their safeties. I mean, we had Bowman. Bowman is one of the better safeties in this game, plays for the Atlanta Falcons. We had him dead to rights. We said, nah, we good. At one point, the drafting's got to get better. And that's where Bean comes in, man. You got to be better, brother. Got to be better. It's killing me, bro. Jacob, there's still hope and the bright future. Y'all, Buffalo just has to say enough and make the tough decision and right choices with players. Brandon Beat is trying, bro, and it's just not working out. He's trying. The year that after 13 seconds, many picked Buffalo for Super Bowl. Yeah, we can miss that because we haven't been anywhere. I mean, last year was pretty close, but I mean, this one, it's just tough, man. It's just tough. I'm trying to justify certain things, but I just can't. I don't have the time for that nonsense. 13 seconds was the year, best mixture of talent and minimal injuries. Yup. The injuries definitely made a difference this year. Lost cells. We hurt ourselves. Can't blame everyone. Brandon needs to be held accountable. Said he'd go all in, and he's a coward. I mean, all in with the money he had. How could you say that? All in. Couple chips. You can't do that. Neil McCoy says, how does Sam Darnold get a perfectly rolled red carpet to the championship game when Allen has never gotten such a thing? That's an indictment on Bean and means he should be fired right now. I mean, how many teams has Sam Darnold been on now? 4, 5. This is 5th team on a
4, I think.
4th team. It's 4th team on a deal that's not paying him the money that Josh Allen's being paid. So that factors in. The Seahawks have been ready to go. Geno Smith just couldn't take him over the top. So they brought in Sam Darnold. They didn't even think Sam Darnold would be the guy, but you know what? They put their chips in them, brother, and he's doing well. He's doing good things. Could you imagine Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl? How about that, huh? Josh Curran, this is the problem. Every year we come to this point and can't short what we needs to change. Can't short what needs to be changed. Oh, okay, got it. Every year we come to this point, and until real changes happen, we're going to be right back in the same place every freaking year. Sad as it is, that's what it is. You want to see what's even more sadder? Check this out, folks. There's footage right now saying, did he actually really catch his ball? This was Mims. Went down 2 feet in. You got that. As the ball's coming down, hits the ground, bobble. Some might say that's a catch. Some might say it's not.
Some might wonder whether that survived the ground, Rico. Yeah. I can't take this anymore, dude.
Listen, did he survive the ground?
I have watched this Brandon Cooks clip now, by the way. Yeah. I got to be on my 1,003 play. It gets worse by the minute. I didn't realize it was at the time. I thought it was terrible. The more I watch it, the worse it gets. How they rolled that an interception, I genuinely do think that the Bills really, really like it. To say it's the reason they lost, I can't. When you have 5 turnovers, did they get absolutely hosed by not at least having that reviewed? Absolutely.
That's rough. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put a button in this whole situation. We appreciate you guys. We have 5,000 people watching right now, 5,200 people on all platforms right now. We appreciate you guys. Do us a favor. Smash that like. If you have not subscribed, all that good stuff, subscribe. All that. It's been tough. It was a tough one. Tough way to lose. Tough way to go out, especially because I think the team was emotionally all in. We're beat up. We lost guys. We lost guys with engine injury. We have the most injuries in the league. We have 15 guys on IR. Bro, we've got to do it for those guys. And here we are when we're talking about the Bills having to pack their things up, locker room, doing the player exits, all that, and going right into the offseason. And it doesn't stop because Josh has got to stew on this loss, and then he's got to introduce a new baby. It is like, listen, it's a lot. It's a lot going down. But you know what? We love this team, and we are going to be back at it again, doing this whole thing all over again. I ain't gonna lie to you. It might take me a minute to kind of get my act back together and start talking about it. This one hurts. This one's a tough one, man. My energy is spent. That's why I'm tired. If you look at Bot's face right now, like, look at this. Look at Bot. Bot is just beat. He's just, look at that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like look at this face. I'm tired, bro. Your boy tired.
I'm tired, and it's more than just being tired because I want to go to bed. I'm just tired of this.
That's what I mean. It's physical fatigue, and we're just tired of like the same. Oh, we're back at it again, guys. Here we are. This is us. Divisional round. This is us. AFC round. We're great out of the wild card, but when it comes to the divisional.
And I am scrolling Twitter here on the side. The amount of people that are like not anything to do with the Bills, like do not give a damn if the Bills win or lose. The amount of people that are watching that Cooks play and saying that this is beyond egregious, dude, this is making me twice as sick as I think I was 3 hours ago.
And here we are. So, well, I'll tell you this: the Bills have some things to do. They got some moves to make.
Even Deion Dawkins tweeted out screenshots of the still images of that catch, Rico.
Even the players are doing it now.
Yep.
Shit. Jeffrey Robinson comes in and says, "Hey, Rico Bot, Seattle is Super Bowl bound because they got rid of the coach, GM, and QB. Get rid of McDermott and Bean. Same situation with Patriots. I'm going to tell you right now, out of all the comments that we've read today, this one sticks out because Seattle is where they're at today because they've made changes. Could you tell me who the coach is for the Seattle Supersonics? I was going to say Seattle Supersonics. Who's the coach for the Seattle Seahawks? Do you know?
Yeah, Mike McDonald. He should be up there for coach of the year.
But if I were to ask most people, who's the head coach for Seattle? They'd be like, you know what I mean? And when Mike McDonald got hired for that job, I didn't think they were going to go to where the depth of where they've gone. So this comment here stands out a lot for me because if you want changes, and this is what a lot of Bills fans have been saying for years, not just this year, but if you want true change, it's got to start somewhere. So you can't bring back the same crew because you're going to get the same results. You need fresh mind. You need someone that sees it differently, that's been looking outside in, right? When you want help with your relationship, you want help with someone. You don't go to your cousin that's been watching you and your lady or your spouse, you know what I mean, deal with things. You got to go on the outside. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, I've been seeing this. I've been seeing that. I know where the changes need to be. But when you're in the sauce, hard to make the hard, tough decisions to make changes. It's tough. So maybe that's a route that McDermott does take. But Jeffrey, we appreciate that comment. That's gives you something to think about. But I'm gonna leave it to you. What you got any last words, brother?
I got nothing for you.
I love you.
I'm getting more. This is hitting me even more as the time's going on. Usually by the end of these things, I feel better. The more I'm seeing people comment on this particular play, the more I'm watching it, like it's really, really hitting me how we will be talking about this. It is now hitting me. We will be talking about this Brandon Cooks play probably forever. You will be talking about this Brandon Cooks play in the same vein. You'll talk about 13 seconds forever, Music City Miracle forever. This was as painful of a loss I've ever experienced as a Bills fan. I genuinely believed after last week beating the Jacksonville Jaguars, I genuinely believed that this felt like this was the perfect time. I felt as though Jacksonville was the best remaining team in the AFC, the most well-rounded team. And for the Bills to have gone in and played the way they did and win. And then when you go into today and the Bills go down 13 and they storm back and it looks like they're gonna put the stamp on this to lose the way that they did. Listen, we had over 5,000 of you in here tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. It's always the biggest episode of the year because misery loves company. Now that's for damn sure. But this was about as tough of a loss as I can remember. On the way out the door, by the way, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. We nailed everything, Rico, on our slip, but Bo Nix. He had more than 1.5 pass TDs. We certainly know that. But anyway, I'm going to need to make a couple Sleeper slips to keep interested in these games tomorrow. Now the Buffalo Bills are out. I know you're going to probably want to do the same. So link in the description below. Click that. Sign up for Sleeper. Once you do, you'll get a free $20 entry. You can use that on those games tomorrow. Give you a little bit of rooting interest because God knows we're going to need it. Once you use that free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, BF25, and that'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. We got another one coming in here from Martin. What do you think, Rico? Many yell at my comment about the Cooks catch. We shouldn't be in that spot. They say the fact that it was 30-30 on that many turnovers, not 48-30 Broncos shows Broncos be cans with the ref. I don't know.
Jose, what do you think, Rico? Many of y'all comment about the Cooks catch, but we shouldn't be in that situation. I get it. We shouldn't be in that spot because, yeah, I get that part. No, the fact that it was 30-30, the many TOs, not 40-30. I mean, listen, man, at the end of the day, there were so many moments in that game that we shouldn't have been there. If James Cook doesn't fumble that football, we probably go up 10-3 or 14-3. At that point, I know that this team is a team that's going to come back and do all that stuff, but I think the Bills we would have silenced the crowd and we would have been able to do whatever the hell we wanted. We didn't. So many things that happened this game that just didn't fall our way. Josh fumbling before the half and giving up. I get it, man. I get it. But we still stayed in it. And the results are the results. Fam, we're 3 hours in, bro. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this long. It's therapy, but like, I don't even know if I can watch this game again. I don't know if I'll be able to watch this game again. I'm gonna keep it that way. And now Bo Nix can't even play in the game. What a freaking waste.
Yeah, how about that? Like now I'm looking for whatever. Listen, you said it best. Over 5,000 of you. Much love and appreciation for every single one of you. You guys are the best. We love getting to hang out with you all the time, but these times in particular, each and every year, always great to get the whole squad together. And I mean, do this. I mean, what else can you say? Get the squad together and just exercise them demons. And I'm sure we'll be right back where we are right now, 1 year from today. Yeah, we almost. Yeah, I mean, my God, we should rename the show that. Anyway.
Bills football. That's Bills football in a nutshell. That's Bills football in a nutshell.
You know what? I'm so tired, and I'm just going to go stare at the ceiling. Like, I'm not going to, I mean.
Listen, I get it, man. Listen, Stidham, good luck. Good luck. Folks, stick around, and you will see us close off this week with some shows.
No kidding. Say it again. Say that again. Say that again.
I don't even know.
I mean, I got to tell you, I've had about enough. I swear to God, I cannot believe we're sitting here doing this again. I cannot believe we're sitting here doing this again.
Listen, I'll say this. I don't know what Bot's going to do tomorrow.
Why can I not believe it? That's the thing.
You can believe it. I don't know what Bot's going to do on Monday, but he's got a day of rest to watch more football. We can talk about what it's going to look like going into championship weekend, which it should be the Bills, but we're not. Will it be the Patriots? Will it be the Texans? Will it be CJ Stroud on his way to a Super Bowl? You kidding me?
I'm kind of pulling for Houston. They've never even been to one. They've never been to a conference championship game.
Neither of the Bills since the freaking 90s.
No. The Bills have been to a couple of conference chip games. They've been to a few.
Oh, man. Oh, you're talking about the championship game. Oh, I get you.
Yeah, God knows I'm not pulling for New England, and I don't want to watch Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl. Sorry. So I think I'm kind of rooting for my God, look what our life has come to, pulling for the damn Texans so somebody can go be happy for once. A fan base that's that's never experienced happiness. Now I'm rooting for them to go and have a little happiness.
It's the same old movie, bro. It's the same old movie. Listen, go be with your baby. Go be with your wife. And we will do this again sometime.
Caroline, by the way, she said the Bills couldn't win this year because Zoe didn't earn it yet. She's only been alive for 2 months. You have to endure multiple decades of pain until you can finally. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So
you're absolutely right. Listen, we've had hundreds of comments, and I'd say more than thousands of comments in this chat. Has been going. We appreciate you guys. This is 3 hours.
Yeah, thank you guys. Seriously.
Thank you guys for real. This is 3 hours of us pouring the hearts out and watching the players pour their hearts out. So
yeah, by the way, like that really stuck with me. My God.
One really got every last one of them. I'm not even gonna lie. Every last one of them.
That's my problem, Rico, is I love these guys. Like, I love Allen. I love Dawkins. I love McDermott. Like, this is what makes it so much worse. It's not like there's these guys. It's not like there are these guys that you're like, whatever. Like, they're not that likable. Like, dude, they're the best. Oh, you want it for... we got to stop. We just we got
to stop. Yeah. Listen,
yep.
Listen, just go and get me Jefferson out of the Vikings, and I'll be happy. All right.
Yeah, send me Max Crosby too, and we'll see you guys next year in the bowl.
All right, man.
Well, love folks, you guys. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Maybe next year.
Golly, did you hear that? Did you just say that? Maybe next year.
Go Bills.
Go Bills, boys. We'll see you.
Take care, guys. Appreciate
it. All right, but here we are. Another year.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.